Hot Match Highlights, the show that gives you the best moments from the top matches in the latest play week of the CSGO Pro League. In the North American region, the Renegades with one loss matched up against the undefeated and 6-win streak team, Liquid. Liquid are currently ranked 5 in the world, and they had to show their worth as the match against Renegades took place on Mirage.
I think Renegades are going to take this.
Right.
I think we can see the series get split 1-1.
So Nifty is all alone with that AWP inside the B bomb, so that's a good start. That's a player in Halls. That's a second one as well coming up. Catwalk, and he's going to add a third onto it. One-man army with a fourth. Nifty has done it all, 16 HP. Nitro would love to take some guns away, but surely he can't. Just going to walk into the crosshair, but does get the kill. Denies the ace at the very least. But what a round from Nifty. All alone at the B bomb site, surrounded with 2 different angles.
Naf gonna fall down at ramp, and suddenly 2 versus 3. Twist and Nitro both over here in connector. Twist gonna go ahead.
Neither of these players from Renegades have kills in the round, so they might be confused as to their exact location now. They'll know from hitting tab. Jacob is a player at A usually. Here's the peek out a window. You still are gonna spray them both down. Timing not with Liquid. That'll give Renegades the advantage going into the second half, although half they won pistol. I think they might be a little bit disappointed with that result overall.
Despite losing the first half 7-8, Team Liquid showed why they are top 5 and won the game 16-12, with Nitro on top with 25 kills.
Twist, and Nitro's up on top. He's exposed to the world. That's a great kill on a Nifty. Gives them a chance, but his teammates are all dying, and now the fire certainly is going to be a disaster, and there goes Naf. They know exactly where Nitro is. The no-scope works out. He's causing economic damage. Jacob, though, trying to get away before being taken down, and that might be it. They have to recover the bomb, and Nitro strikes from Palace. It's happened again. Heartbreak City for Renegades. Nitro finishes it off.
The next map was played out on the map of the Dragon Lore, Cobblestone. This went Liquid's way as well, as they won 16-9 and extended their win streak to 8. In the EU region, the 2 best Danish teams met in what was a clash of titans, North versus Astralis, and it was now time to show who would be the best team in Denmark. The first map was in and here, Astralis completely destroyed North and won with an impressive 16-2.
Welcome to the Game Flip pre-show.
And the Game Flip pre-show is upon us. That's right, be a boss, join Game Flip, and there's a $10,000 giveaway over there at gameflip.com/ESL. And here, though, at the Xfinity Analyst Desk, it's time to get into our Game Flip pre-show. With that, guys, I think it's time where I introduce,
$10,000 giveaway.
Nope. Let's go ahead and start with the right side. We've got just Carrot GG, just Harry GG, and Jason Moses O'Toole. Guys, did you have a good sleep last night? Today?
This morning? Yeah. I had a good one, actually. That was like, I might have been in a coma. It was nice. It was lovely.
Oh, see, mine wasn't that good, but I still feel like wide awake. You know, I'm still ready to go. I've had lots of coffee, and we have some fantastic teams tonight, so that's always
Pandering to the teams.
You know, that's always going to wake you up.
Calling them easy. You're calling them exciting.
I didn't say they were easy. Well, I kind of did.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Okay, whatever. With that, these guys will be here all night long. Make sure you don't go anywhere, because I guarantee you these guys are not going anywhere fast. But us, on the other hand, we have some analytics to break down here. Of course, we have Pimp and Vendetta here to kind of break this one down and maybe make some sense of this matchup, these two matchups tonight. Guys, how are we feeling going into this evening?
I mean, I had a good night of sleep. I was dreaming about a bunny and some carrots, and all of a sudden I met in this set, and I saw the bunny and I saw the carrot being demolished into one's mouth. So Harry, I would appreciate if you from now on would stop eating carrots on set, because it brings me out of my game.
I think you two have been spending way too much time together.
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
And that's fair.
Well, that's how I feel.
Yeah, no, that's, you know, express your emotions and all that. Yeah, I did not have any dreams. I barely slept at all. So, you know, feeling super pumped.
That would explain why, you know, because they've been spending so much time together, they're dreaming about each other. I think that's exactly what's going on here. Just like I'm dreaming about today's matchups. Let's take a look at today's schedule and see where the cookie crumbles, I do believe the once Bruce Almighty said. Go ahead and walk me through this schedule, Pim.
I mean, we got Rogue SK in our first game. SK was in a, we're going to talk about that, but it's not in the best period right now. It's seemingly rough for them. Then followed up by Cloud9 and Ghost. Ghost being one of the surprises of the league thus far, whereas Cloud9 we've seen them being a little bit shaky off to a start. So we're going to see two matchups where we expect the 2-0, and anything else would be a disappointment to one of the teams.
A disappointment, nonetheless. Almost like some of these standings for some of these teams. Now, I don't want to say Cloud9 is not sitting where they should be. There must be an error there, because there's just no way. I refuse to believe that the major champions are having a rough time.
Yeah, no, but, you know, it's all about giving your opponents a false sense of security. They're like major champions coming in scared as hell. Cloud9 are like, no, don't worry, don't worry. We can play to your level as well. And then people get comfortable with that. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, it's possible to beat Cloud9. And then they strike back. So I think it's a long-term plan here, what we're looking at, Trace.
It's a long game.
Yeah, a long con.
PsyOps, psychological warfare.
Exactly.
Big fan of that stuff. You should look it up sometime. It's very interesting stuff. Either way, one team that does have a little bit of stuff going on there in the psyche would be Rogue. Let's go ahead and kick off this evening. Of course, they're going to be facing off SK in our first matchup. Let's talk about this Rogue lineup as we see them come up right here on your screen. Sick, Hiko, Vice, GMD, and Cadian. You love to see it. Talk to me about this team, guys.
We got a team led by the Danish guy Cadian, a guy who moved over here to Las Vegas to basically restart his career. Didn't go too well in Denmark, so he came over here and figured out that if he matched up or queued up with some decent NA players, he could make a team work. And I would say so far it's been looking okay for Rogue. We've been talking about them a lot in the sense of they're very inconsistent. We see them play to a very high level, especially guys like Hiko, Vice, and Sick are three very familiar names within the NA region, but they don't consistently produce the results, and that's the big problem right now for Team Cadian, if you can say so. He's the in-game leader of this team, and he needs to figure out how to make these guys produce every single game instead of being absolutely dog shit one game and then the next one be good.
Fair is fair.
So eloquently said. Every single. I love it personally. This is the pimp that I like to see on the desk.
Bit of a wordsmith.
Ferocious almost. We see some highlights here from Rogue at the IBA Power Cup over the course of the weekend.
Yeah.
And I guess big picture, what do we got here, Halvor?
I mean, they did finish the third to fourth, which, considering the fact that the two teams above them were Liquid and Energy, is not a bad thing at all. They even managed to steal a map away from Energy, who we've mentioned multiple times have been really, really strong so far into Pro League. So that is positive, and again, it's not for a lack of potential good showings from Rogue that we are a bit on the fence about them. It's the fact that they go from having actual capable game plans and executions and an actually well played game to having the complete opposite of that. And we need to see them find that consistency to their game if they want to have a have a shot at this. That's really the big name of the game. A little bit worried about maps going into this. They will be playing Overpass, for instance, versus SK. That's Rogue's pick. Understandable. They managed to beat teams like Energy on it, but you're going in versus SK on Overpass. So it's still like a tremendous task to go into anyway.
Well, I don't want to say this out loud, but I'm going to anyway because, well, what are filters, right? Let's talk a little bit about this SK lineup. Now, you say Energy. Now, normally we would dismiss this Energy lineup, but this Energy lineup is currently finding some pretty good results. Whereas SK seemingly faltering a little bit. We know they had some trouble there in China, and then just prior to that as well. So coldzera, Furfall, Bolts, and Taco, of course, rounding out the SK Gaming lineup. And where do we see this team sitting, though, coming into tonight?
I mean, the players don't need any introduction themselves. These are major winning players and probably one of the best cores of players in the entire history of Counter-Strike. So that's set in stone. The problem for SK right now is, as you said, they had a poor showing at Katowice, they had a poor showing at WESG, a tournament I think everyone would expect them to go down to, be very motivated to play. We even saw them miss out some games in this league because they were boot camping in Germany, preparing for the WESG tournament, and still went down there and did a horrible performance. So SK is not in a good spot right now, and they really need to figure out how to deal with this. Whatever that's a roster change, whatever that's something else, that's what they have to figure out now. And a game like this could, put fire to the, or put gasoline to the fire, whatever you say. It could be one of those where it like nails the last nail into the coffin.
It could be as simple as that, I think, is exactly what it could be. Crickets? No? Nobody? How about this? We got a word in with Fallen. Let's see what he had to say.
2017 was indeed the year of SK Gaming. Almost every tournament the Brazilians attended ended with a trophy lift. After a rough start to the year, they became unstoppable and spent their New Year's Eve at first place of the HLTV World Rankings.
Being on the top for 2 years, playing super well and achieving a lot of finals make us one of the teams who the other teams are always looking for, and that's a very tough task because you have to change your strategies.
But they haven't been able to replicate that dominant form in 2018, and so far, we haven't seen the world-class plays from the Brazilians.
2018 has been exactly like 2017 was, very difficult beginning of the year. I think our team, for some reason, kind of take a little bit more of time to really get it rolling. When we start the season, we feel the break too much when we had to stop for 2 or 3 weeks.
SK Gaming reached the semifinals at the E-League Major in Boston in January and took third place in the CS Summit in February.
When you start losing matches, when you start losing some tournaments, you kind of try to figure out something that we're not doing yet, or trying to play a little bit differently. And it kind of is a tendency to start playing a little bit more robotic.
At IEM Katowice, SK fell further down and ended on a split 7th and 8th place. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, the Brazilian Kings were finally dethroned at WESG, where they lost all their matches and didn't even manage to make it past the initial group stage.
When you lose the lose aspect and you enforce everyone to play a little bit more strategically, you lose those personal achievements that you can have during the match, like those skills and information and space they have.
So in only a few months, the former Kings have lost their place atop the HLTV World Rankings, and they've now been relegated to a very unusual 5th place. And in the NA region of ESL Pro League, they've lost 6 out of 8 matches.
The process right now is really trying to get in shape and playing a little bit better game after game. I'm pretty sure we can do it way better than we're doing right now, and if we just have to keep our heads up and trying to work on those bases, I say, like trying to really shape that up and get the confidence again.
You can't help but applaud the optimism there, because this is a team that has overcome quite a few hurdles. They've also garnered quite a few championships in their day. But with this SK lineup, there's something to be said about the consistency here of coldzera.
I mean, there definitely is, and one of the reasons why SK has had so much success, even through roster changes and whatnot, the one steadfast factor to that team has been coldzera. Yet to have a single event where he dips under a 1.0 rating for the last 3 years. And you don't really get much better than that. And it's not just that he doesn't dip below a 1 rating, it's just that he kind of tends to be around a 1.2 rating, which is absolute insanity. And that's the reason why people have, time and time again, named him as the best player in the world, why he's been ranked the best player in the world 2 years in a row, and why you're seeing him constantly, finishing at the top of podiums.
consistency is the word. Like he's the most consistent player in the world. I think that's why most people, among experts as well, think he's one of the best players in the world because he's consistently bringing the same level over and over again. And to anyone who has ever played this game on a professional level, or at least tried forces with it, you can only imagine how hard it is to go up every single tournament, being equally motivated and show the same level every single time. And that's why we consider him the best player in the world because he's able to do that consistently over and over again. So may not be the most skilled player in the world, may not be a Simple, may not be a Nico, but consistency-wise, nobody comes close to coldzera.
Well, all of those guys, heavy hitters. You know, putting them all in the same basket there would not be someone you'd want to tee off against in a server.
Definitely.
I would probably be more terrified of playing against Cold. If I had to play a bracket run against, you know, a player over and over again, I feel like you'd have a better chance versus somebody others because they could, you know, as you said, you know, have off games. It doesn't feel like coldzera does that, and that's really one of the big strengths.
Consistency.
Yeah,
That's
and again,
the word of the day.
Yeah, no,
brought to you
really
in part
is.
by Jacob Vinicky. Did I get it right?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I've been practicing it on my off time. Nonetheless, we're going to Overpass, and certainly both of these teams should be rather prepared on this. I do believe this is Rogue's pick coming into this matchup. Is it going to make a difference?
I don't think so. I think Rogue picks this map because they feel that's the one they're most comfortable on. Especially Cadian, being a Dane, we're pretty known for being good on Overpass. We have some defaults that usually work for us and a quite good understanding of how to play the map. And I think Cadian and I think that's very evident when you watch them play. You can see he's trying to pressure this European mentality over this team, trying to make them play more structured, more safe, more cleverly in a way where you may take a little bit away from players like Sick, who's just more like a guy who just needs some freedom and run around and do some headshots. So it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. When you go in against SK on Overpass, as you said in the beginning, like there's no world ever where you're gonna put Rogue as the favorites. I think Cadian has a little bit of an idea of what SK likes to do, and they're trying to take advantage of this situation SK in right now, where they're not playing the best Counter-Strike ever. And
the word is vulnerable, I think.
They're very vulnerable, especially on, and not only Overpass. That's the thing with SK right now. You can attest to that as well. Like, all their maps right now are vulnerable. They don't have that one map or two map you know they're going to win no matter what happens. They used to have that, but not anymore. Nowadays, it's like everyone can beat SK, and that's not like the SK we normally see around.
Well, we do have a head-to-head here, if you can kind of walk us through it, Halvor, and take a look at just what this matchup could entail between Sick and coldzera.
Yeah, and again, it's the consistency from coldzera that's going to go up against the potential very high highs of Sick as well. Sick obviously having a little bit worse overall sets, I guess, in terms of ADR and something. That comes off of the back of, first off, coldzera is extremely consistent, but also Rogue have had some pretty big losses as well, and that does take a hit on your stats overall. But you can see definitely two capable players here going up against each other, and both are going to be vital for their respective teams.
So how about this? Out of these respective teams, I need to ask you really quickly who you have on Overpass. Go.
SK.
I mean, it has to be SK. They're vulnerable, but SK has to win this 1-2-0.
Just no way around it.
Something said about a wounded animal backed into a corner, right?
Yeah.
Starts slashing out.
They usually die.
No, take someone with them in the fall, right? Like,
well, I mean, when you paint that picture for me, guys, thanks for you know, really keeping it up there in spirits and whatnot. Let's go ahead and bring in the commentators and let them do their job for a change. They've been standing here idly, just ready, anxious. Jason, are you just feeling it, man?
I am fired up. I've been looking at some memes.
Okay. Yeah, I saw a couple good ones
on Reddit. Yeah, the Mayweather one was particularly good. How are you?
I mean, I haven't been looking at memes. I've been kind of trying to track the conversation. But,
how'd it go? Was it good?
I mean, yeah, it was okay, as usual. You know, kind of maybe a little subpar.
What was your favorite part of the conversation?
I don't know. Any bit with Trace in it was pretty good.
My man.
There you go, dude. I got you.
That's weird. Well, you guys can have some carrots together later. It'll be fun. The whole carrot theme is going to last throughout the entirety of the season, isn't it? Rogue versus SK Gaming. Going to be starting off on Overpass here. SK starting on the CT side. They've had some struggles of late, but surely this is one of those games that gets you back on track. And right at the start, Rogue going to head over with a fast B hit towards this bomb site. Sick leading the way. It's a very passive retake setup from SK. Would love to hit some of these shots as they enter in. It's coldzera to defend. He's paired up with Taco per usual, and Cadian has a chance here. He's got a chance to do so much, but he misses the first 6 bullets. Does eventually adjust and connect, but that was almost disaster.
Yeah, now Fallen's been spotted out, and actually Sick's going to be able to find both him and Bolt, so suddenly Taco and coldzera all that remain, and coldzera spoke about a lot in the pre-game. Now he really has to try and show his worth. Taco going to tap away, does find one onto Hiko. Keeps pushing on in, and Taco Well, he's going to go down. Sick in with a nice 3k there to secure that pistol round for Rogue. And they are going to be able to pick up this initial round. Sick already kind of hitting the ground running.
I think we're going to see a lot of those kinds of strategies from Rogue. I think the big takeaway I have from watching this team on T-sides is the sort of pack mentality that they bring to the table. It seems like they very much stick together. A lot of 4-1s are going to be coming out, some more fast-paced tactics, which you feel like should be something SK can handle, but obviously not able to happen in the pistol. Decent investment here for SK as 3 players pretty much bought out down to 0. It's Fallen and Taco, each with about $1,100 to $1,200. But just a basic default this time from Rogue is they're not going too fast-paced, waiting for some of those pushes. And actually, they're set up to stop it, but they're not aware. There is Fur. He's partnered up with coldzera out towards long A. They're pushed towards the end, so it's going to be a timing on when Fur decides to keep going. And they need to find it soon to have a fast flank, because otherwise it's going to be just Taco to hold off an entire attack on this B-bomb site.
And it looks like that might very quickly become a reality. He's here alone with the Deeg and 4 players. Now a monster, that is going to be too much for Taco to deal with. He will fall at the first hurdle. Now Cadian turns back around, and we didn't really see him have too much success in the previous round. I missed the opportunities he was given, but this time he's quick to pick up Fallen. And, you know, bomb planted 3 on 5. SK, surprisingly enough, not feeling this retake. They're just going to start to back away. And that's kind of good for 2 reasons, to make this call so early on at least, is they deny any more money being farmed up by these UMPs. Now they also have a little bit more to take away into the next round. The only downside being that 5 players will be surviving for Rogue. So money is going to start to accrue. You still have Bolts, Fur and coldzera with something to take with them into the next round at least.
Yeah. I mean, something to hold on to. I guess that's the silver lining. We'll see if it can actually do anything for them. Last round, the stack over towards that A bomb site, 2 out towards long, and they had some players aggressively in bathrooms and stairs. Didn't do a whole lot. Another chance here. This would be like a crazy upset, as kind of as much as we've been disappointed in SK. I think this would just be, I know it's online and everything, but I think this would probably be the most surprising win, even in that situation where we tend to not put as much emphasis and importance on the online games. I still think these are games that SK in the past at least has kind of won with their eyes closed. Even if they do get close, it usually feels like there's no chance of them fully getting upset.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, especially when you kind of look at like the broader context of it all, right, in the sense that SK's kind of been struggling also on LAN recently, you know, so their online results, especially versus a team like Rogue, are somewhat telling in that regard. So inside the site here, Fallen is, well, he's alone, and not faring his odds too highly, only with the USP. He's going to be very easily mopped up by Cadian. And just like that, this A bomb site has come toppling down. They're going to start to try and peek on in. Taco is a flash, and first able to open up, so now they go hunting for Taco. They're able to go ahead and claim a man back, maintaining this man advantage up for Rogue. And it's just these 3 saved, upgraded pistols from the previous round now left to try and find some damage. And they're going to start to make their way in. Slowly but surely. Sick farms up the first onto Fur, and just like that, this round going to get locked down. GMD and Sick at the end find all the frags, and Rogue will be onto their third. They keep those rounds impeccably clean, only losing 1 man there in round number 3 in the form of Cadian. But he's got enough to get the AWP anyway.
No, and it's these first 3 rounds have looked good. I mean, the big thing to say is that, you know, Rogue could have potentially lost a few more players here and there if they were playing undisciplined in the post plants, and none of that happens. They handle SK with relative ease, even in those buy rounds that can be so dangerous. Now more of a test, although still not full power for SK. AWP on Fallen with light armor. Problem is the nades and the defuse kit. There's none of those. That AWP is going to be towards the B bomb site, an angle by sandbags towards the short sewers. No one from Rogue is here, and here's that pack mentality I was talking about. Everyone's sticking together, clearing things out together. Doesn't make for the most detailed tactics, but obviously there's a lot less moving parts, a lot less things that can go wrong so to speak. And everyone's going to work their way up long A, except for Sick. He's watching for a push from bathrooms, watching for a push up the stairs.
And now Bolts is actually peeking out towards long. Going to start to fall back through the bank, so the timing there allows him to survive. If he was still hanging around, KDM would have found that frag all day long. But the three other players here for Rogue starting to progress on down. That Molotov going to burn. I was going to say going to burn Fur out, but it does force Bolts back. Fur's going to be able to get one before he's traded, and now it's all onto Bolts to try and step up and hold back the masses, and he cannot. Bomb plant comes in. Fallen's going to arrive, but he actually perishes in that Molotov. And Taco and Coldzera left once again. It's these two left to try and clutch out. They're just going to relinquish this round and go ahead and save.
Yeah, good start from Rogue. Obviously going to go up 4-0. And I mean, there's 2 M4s they'll have to worry about it. It remains to be seen if SK is going to buy around those. I don't think they will. I think the real thing is once SK starts to get all the nades and all the kits, they can actually try and play the game a bit more to a certain degree. Are they trying to go for some late play here? Maybe they think there's a kit down somewhere. Maybe it's been called out. No, they want the AWP. Both players coming back to pick up the AWP. I was going to say, that attempt at a ninja is just a little bit too wild. Surviving as well, so nice little move there at the end from Coldzera and Taco. And do they purchase? Those two can drop FAMASes, so I think they actually might go for this. They'll have 2 FAMASes, 2 M4s, and an AWP. Still light on the nades, but you're going to be happy with that, I think, as SK.
Yeah, Fallen doesn't have armor to work with, but he has got the AWP, and he's so incredibly important on this map for SK. He's going to be peeking into mid early on. Cadian's there, climbing it down the site though, so has to be careful. Eco in the meantime going to try and clear out connector. He hears Fur running around up at the top, and Fur's just going to go ahead and give it up. Coldzera is actually peeking out through short and is in a lot of danger being here. So many players nearby, and Six going to pick him up no problem. Coldzera misses that opening shot. Now Vice in the meantime has made his way up onto the pillar. Bolts has gone down to Taco. He's playing it around the smoke. He's hiding inside the site, but he's being tagged down. I'm still not entirely sure that he's here, but now he's spotted out, and Vice going to be in with another. This B bomb site does come crumbling down, and it's just Fallen and Fur left, and they've already been locked out of this round.
Yeah, once again, just straight up punished, and now the economy for Rogue is really going to get going, and that's one of those rounds where you can see the change of pace designed to take advantage of the low nades counts, the lack of Molotovs, of smokes, and everything like that. It does just that. It does exactly what it's meant to do, and there's nothing that SK had to really slow it down. Some missed shots as well, and Vice even baiting one out of Fallen as he's going to try and chase this AWP down, but first here to defend. Going to get that first, but can't get the second. Fallen still going to be under some pressure at the A bomb site. There's still so much time in this clock. It's going to feel like an eternity for Fallen, and look at these clever moves. He'll get this kill and drop down if he wants, but he's been spotted out, spammed right through, didn't commit to it. 5-0. Huh.
Yeah, things get really scary now because, you know, you kind of look at it, and I think 3 of those kills, if I remember, came out in the pistol rounds. So since then, we've seen, what, 4 kills onto Rogue, where they've actually had rifles and things worth dropping. So definitely not the situation SK would have imagined themselves in. There's so much money. Just look at Sick. He's on 12,000. GMD and Hiko on around about 9,000. Money is no object right now for Rogue. Now you're going to find a bit of damage early on onto the stack down here in connector. And Hiko is going to go down, but Vice is able to trade that out straight away, so they don't even get the AK from it. And now the rest of SK, they've started to creep out into middle, but this has just given Rogue the B bomb site. They're aware of it. The bomb's going to go down, and it looks to be another pretty clean round here for Rogue. All this really going to depend on whether or not GMD can stay alive. He's trying to protect this AK, but now they know where he is. He's rung the dinner bell, and SK are going to be looking pretty hungry here for anything they can get their hands on.
Yeah, they need anything they can get their hands on. That's a nice flash. GMD completely blind, spins around. They haven't come down yet, and as he gets unblind, an easy headshot and a follow-up kill as well. Obviously, really striving for that AK-47. But here comes the first great buy that SK is going to have. They should be able to purchase up some kits, plenty of utility, 4 smokes, 3 Molotovs as well, the HE grenades for the narrow choke points over towards the B bomb site if they're needed, and I think this is where you can start to see SK be more diverse in how they defend. I think we'll see Fallen being a bit more aggressive. He's going to be out towards long to start with. You have Fur there as well. We know he likes to get aggressive on this map, but it all seems tempered in these first 6 rounds. Not the SK gaming that we know and love. They'll need to find it if they want to come back into this.
And this round, coldzera and Taka, they've both got aggressive down 3 short. They're going to try and meet the aggression of Hiko here in Connector. As they're posted up and waiting for him, Vice is actually walking the way of coldzera. This is an important kill for coldzera to find, and he will be able to get it. Hiko not too keen to go peeking into that trade, so the man advantage will be maintained for the time being for the side of SK. Fur holding close here in the bathrooms. Going to make things tricky, and Taka, all the information he's got from this play, he's gone all the way through Monster. Into the depths of T-spawn he goes, and that's now allowed multiple players to rotate up towards A, one of them being Fallen, who been able to find that kill out onto GMD at long, extended the man advantage that much more. And Fur still here aggressively in bathrooms along with Bolts. Oh, but the only issue is if they go down Connector, they get that B-bomb site for free.
The bomb's rotating all the way around though, and Taco should be able to stop this. He hears the footsteps, and the op was the one leading the way. Thankfully, the AK is going to be up front. They do clear the corner, but can't react in time. And now, awkward situation for Cadian. 20 seconds on the clock. He just wants to get this kill, and he does find it. Now Hiko lurking, and he doesn't have time to be patient anymore. He's got to try and bully his way into this bomb site. He's getting flanked out from behind and doesn't even get the chance, and there goes Cadian. First round on the board for SK as soon as they get a strong buy on the board, and they even swap into a double AWP setup. Time for SK to make the comeback happen. 4 players survive means they can build up some kind of light money. It's going to take a few more rounds to build up something desirable, and Rogue has plenty of cash for at least, 2 more buys, it feels like.
He has gone for the MAC-10, which feels, I mean, I guess go for a fast play, he may as well.
Yeah, and no utility as well, so he's just in the economic thing where he's leading the rush so he can move and everything like that. It's working out so far, but so much utility damage. Molotov and HE grenades. Flashbang stops Hiko in his track, and now Taco is there to shore things up. Helped out by Sick, but I don't know if that TK would have changed anything. SK had done plenty of damage on the entrance. There it is. 2 in a row for SK. Losing 2 players this time, but still going to be happy.
Yeah, now Hiko, he took a hit in the previous round. He has $12,000, so he's able to drop for anyone who can't afford it. There's the TK from Sick. A case of mistaken identity, but it happens to the best of us. So we've got a buy up for Rogue, and they've still got money to invest into the next round as well. SK. This is a nice little boost from Bolts. He's taken the opportunity to peek on in it. Oh, sure, it's coldzera that'll find the first players rushing out through mid. Sick goes down, and coldzera just backs away. Now, Fallen here to step up. The double orbs tearing Rogue limb from limb. They've been locked out of mid. And now the bomb on the back of Cadian, landlocked, going to get forced out by Fur from long. Hiko and Vice left alive, 2 versus 5, and suddenly this round has gone very awry.
It's not gone well for Rogue, has it? They seem to really be struggling now that SK's flush with cash. Any kills at this point are helpful, even though the bomb is on the other side of the map. Not a great chance of kind of responding and turning this into their favor. They need frags. They need to limit the money that SK can get, because as it grows, SK is going to have more to play with and more options available to him, and they'll be willing to risk a little bit more as well, and that's when things get really scary. If Fur starts to have some not all, I mean, we know he has the confidence, but he starts to have the dollar signs behind his pushes. He can risk his M4 by going all the way up mid. He can have fast flanks with the way that Rogue plays as well. 4 or 5 grouped up players towards one side of the map. Fur can have all that information. Timeout being called by Rogue as, yeah, they've lost 3 straight, so it's time for them to go back to the drawing board real quick, just for 30 seconds, or 20, whatever it is. I think it's 30 seconds. 20 seconds. It's 20. I've lost my mind.
It's all good, Jason. You know, it's day 2 of week 5. I think I've hit the nail on the head with that.
Yeah.
You know, I'd say it lasted longer than most.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Pimp was kind of broken after day 2. So, you know, there's always that.
That first week was really an eye-opener, wasn't it? For everyone. Still a lead for Rogue, though, and they can still, if they can bounce back. I mean, just a couple more rounds in this half, and they've still had a very strong performance. They get up towards, like, even just 7 and 8. You're going to be feeling very nice about your Terra side. Fallen turns from the nades, doesn't take too much damage, and definitely not going to shy away from making sure that he'll have presence. Backs off when it goes quiet. There are 2 players attempting to come up the stairs, and joined with the 2 players at Playground at the moment. They can sandwich any aggressive CTs, so they want bathrooms control. Vice on the other side of the map watching for pushes, and SK, the entire defense has actually gone pretty passive.
Yeah, a much more reserved stance from SK in this round than what we've seen in the ones prior. It looks like it's a 3-man stack over here towards A. Never mind, that's actually Bolts down in heaven. But he's got a very, very fast rotation. They've gone ahead and smoked off the short angle. That Molotov going to keep them away for the time being. And it has slowed them right down. They look like they were going to start to try and take some more presence over here towards A. But now they've worked their way up to the flower bed. Peeking out to long, just misses the timing there to actually spot Cadian out. And so far, he's missing a lot of the timings, but he doesn't miss it that time around. Cadian, well, Fallen's in with a second and a third. Okay, Fallen, he's woken up. He was sleeping earlier on. He's not ready to give up this site just yet. He's still locking down the fort. He is going to get burnt out, and Vice is now suddenly left 1v4. Back against the wall, and Taco goes pushing into him. And just like that, Vice going to be snuffed out. SK in with a 4th round. And now they've finally broken the bank of Rogue. It took 4 clean rounds from SK.
That's fitting, though. I mean, this is the map that Fallen is really known for. I mean, this is kind of that specialty map. So many good highlights on this. He knows the angles so well, knows how to peek out the side of the boxes so perfectly and where to look next. And that is just a great sequence. 3 quick kills with that AWP. It's beautiful stuff. And this is where it goes into the next conversation of just who on Rogue can actually match that level of performance. And I think the answer for the most part is 0. Or no one, I guess. There's 0 players on the team who can match that performance.
Yeah, I mean, Sick was having a good time with things early on. I think that was boding well for Rogue. And obviously, you know, since then, he's been kind of quiet. And as Fallen just builds his confidence up more and more, he's going to get that much more deadly. Now, Cadian has worked his way into mid. He's actually gone ahead and started to head into connector, just peeking it. 4 players over at long. Going to start to clear out bathrooms as well, or toilets rather. I keep calling them that, but there's no bath nor shower there, I can imagine.
Still a bathroom.
I mean, is it? Like, does a bathroom need a bath or a shower, Jason?
No.
I always figured it did.
Nope.
I just thought you would have a toilet. Just
You would be incorrect.
Okay.
Hiko with the opening kill onto Fur, but there's already a huge flank coming in. Actually, not a flank, excuse me. Fallen is just being aggressive and a nuisance. The no-scope isn't going to land, but the rest of SK has arrived, and they are systematically clearing out this bomb site, although 2 quick kills from Cadian and Sick turn it in their favor. Taco now not ready for that peak. An unlikely round. It was SK winning 4 straight while Rogue had weapons, and back to the CZs we go, and there lies the success for the T side. Gonna get a free AWP onto Cadian, who had a solid round. Sick at 10 kills. 8Ks for everyone else. Another buy coming out for SK, though, and actually their money is, well, they weren't as successful as they would have liked at building up some kind of a bank during that 4-run streak. A couple of them sitting pretty low.
I've just had an eye-opening experience. You're right about the bathroom thing. I even went and Googled it. That's just revolutionary. And here's Fallen. Well, he is currently in the process of putting Vice into the toilet. He's found him early on. the meantime, look at Sick. He's got very aggressive. He's going to catch Taco off guard, and that's what we need to see. Sick has come in with a return. He found something in towards B at least, but now Fallen's posted up on short, and Fallen has looked utterly terrifying in these last couple of rounds. Sick, the man who's currently top of the board for Rogue, has to go toe-to-toe with the giant of SK. Fallen, well, he's going to be Molotov'd off the angle for the time being. That doesn't stop him from still applying pressure. He watches the back line for the time being. Rotation's coming in. Fallen over here on short. This flank round from Fur going to be spotted by Hiko. He just waits ever so patiently in the back.
SK needs to start the retake, though, before Fur starts to turn this corner. They need Hiko's attention to be taken away. Just 1 or 2 frags towards that B bomb site would cause Fur to move. Or Hiko to move, excuse me, and there's the kill. Not soon enough. Good find from Hiko, one of the most patient players we have historically, and I think SK is just bailing out of this. I think they went out, and that was 1 more kill for Hiko as well, punishing Fallen as he walks away, and it's going to be an 8th for Rogue.
Yeah, that retake just taking far too long to come in, trying to wait for Fur to find something, and the second he goes down, the whole thing's just stopped.
Yeah, when you put that much emphasis on the flank that's coming in, if it doesn't work out, you're in a lot of trouble. I mean, SK is one of those teams that's, and it's not getting away with it. They're just so good at it of, using the entire clock of the retake, the entirety of the time and being very patient. And this time it just doesn't work out the way they would have liked. Another attempt at the uppercut, but this time coldzera's up close. Great trades though, and Taco gets taken out in the flames, and I think already the save call is going to be made here pretty soon. There is another flank coming in from Fern. That would have been a brilliant shot to hit. Cadian's going to be kicking himself for that one. But he reads the next play. And not going to miss that. 2 on 4. And Fallen's got to bail out before he gets caught.
It's getting scary for SK once again. We're in a similar situation. Rogue just making bank here on the T side. And SK, they've lost all their money. Fallen and Bolt's going to be able to save here. Rogue not dedicating too much to the hunt. They're just looking to try and build up these funds. There is GMD and Sick heading the way of Bolts here at long, but I doubt they're going to get there in time. Well, actually, no, there's a good chance they could find him. Depends how audacious they want to be in this peak. Bolt's just nestled away. Ooh, he's actually to get found seconds before the save would have worked, and as a result, only Fallen carrying something forward here. That's the AWP. This is going to be a tricky round to work with. Really relying on Fallen to have another big play. We've seen him have quite a few of them. This has been an iconic map for him. Now they need to see that return to form more than ever. He's going to be taking it over towards mid early on. Perhaps going to try his hand at a more aggressive peek. He's going to go down connector. No one there from Rogue though.
Here's a chance for Fur. They don't actually clear anything with that flashbang, but still, it's going to be tough for Fur to have a whole lot of success here. 4 players sitting around this fountain. He's hoping they push down the stairs to make contact with Bolts, and then he will swing out long when he feels they've committed, but it's not happening just yet. But you can see focus. He's expecting some kind of contact at any moment, but it's not coming. And Bolts is actually going to flank all the way around, try and go up the ladder, find a timing, and he has found it. There is a gap here. Good kill from Fallen with the AWP. All of a sudden, now these players can make their move. Now Fur starts to pounce, and Hiko's not going to be looking for that whatsoever. He's been so patient this whole time. He's looking the other direction. He turns. He finds one, and Cadian with a response on Taco, but Bolts is still here. And he's silent, but somehow Vice gets behind him, and all the kills all of a sudden go the way of Rogue. After that 1 kill from Fallen, SK cannot build upon it. Trigger discipline from coldzera. He wants everything. He needs to make a play. It's going to win him the round, but just too many players to manage. And Rogue with a phenomenal lead.
Yeah, they're up 10-4. The buyer's going to be coming in now for SK, the last of the half. And it's going to have a decent bit of utility behind it. This is unexpected though, Jason. I figured this would be a very clear-cut victory for SK. Rogue haven't exactly looked like the strongest team thus far. And this is one that SK really don't want to be giving up, but it's a nice frag found early on from Fallen, quickly traded by GMD, and the trades have been on point for Rogue. I think we've seen in a lot of these rounds. Whenever SK have found an advantage, it's been very quickly taken back by Rogue. Now they're setting up outside of B. 2 players here. Taco and coldzera inside this B bomb site to try and keep Rogue away. And Fur's going to start to go aggressive. He might just catch the timing here, but no. Hiko's gone ahead and disappeared into the woodwork. Now GMD. Well, he was the man keeping an eye on this aggression. Fur's going to be allowed a lot of space to move around. The timing's there, and the team flash allows Fur to find the first. But now Vice and Cadian on the entrance. And unlock up Taco. coldzera is not so merciful, though. And now it's just Cadian left. 1 versus 3. He has the bomb on his back and an AWP in hand.
It's doable. He's got the time. He's got some utility to play with as well. I'm going to swap out for the AK-47. He's not exactly being shy of giving up where he's headed as well, and he has just thrown caution to the wind. He's going to get the bomb at least planted, but can he get out? No, the spam through actually doesn't even get the bomb down. Doesn't matter. It's the last round, but tries to make it work. Either way, an impressive half from Rogue. Not only do they start out with a big lead, a nice run to kick off the half, they do stop SK as well, who it looked like once they got up towards 3 or 4 in a row, you felt like they'd really kind of figured it out. They'd gotten into their groove, maybe came in a little bit cold, they were actually warmed up, and Rogue even put a stop to that and went on another mini run towards the end. So really nice half on the T side for the underdogs.
Yeah, they can't be too disappointed with that, can they? Good performances across the board, although a very low ADR from either side, which is curious. Sick, top of the board for Rogue. He's kind of one of the guys we need to step up along with GMD. But everyone having a pretty decent game. You're not really, kind of struggling to identify anyone being too quiet. And
That is kind of weird that everyone's at such low ADR.
Yeah, right? It's confused me.
Well, the bottom 3 players as well are pretty much identical in 59, 57, and 55. That's weird. Something's happening. Second half pistol round here kicking off on Overpass as SK. And remember, they had the 2 forfeit losses to Team Liquid. They had the 2 losses to NRG where they had to play with 150 ping from Germany. Or not had to, decided to, excuse me. They need to get some wins on the board, certainly. And this is one of those teams you'd expect them to be able to say, all right, this is where we can claw back and start rising the ranks of the standings. Because, not to be cruel or anything, but I don't think Rogue is going to be beating, a whole lot of this division throughout the season. So if SK loses 2 games to them, those are losses that aren't going to be made up elsewhere. Which is got to be a little bit frightening for any tiebreaker scenarios that come out.
So the pistol round here is an important one for SK. Vice has gone aggressive at long, and somehow he's found a couple of kills. He will be traded out by Bolts. And now they're taken towards A is on. 2 players forcing their way in. In from the toilet side is going to be coldzera and Taco. They've started to engage in a bit of a fight here with the players on the flank. 6 going to go down, and now it's Cadian desperately trying to step up, but he falls as well, leaving this all onto Hiko. He used to be so good in these clutches. Can he try and do it once again? 23 HP, starts to make his way out from the bank. Gonna go peeking into it, but Taco doesn't give him any opportunity. SK will find themselves the pistol. They recover from a bit of a shaky start to it, as they mop up the flank there from Sick and Cadian.
Way too over-eager, a little bit undisciplined from Rogue on that flank. They had SK trapped into the bathrooms. And what you should do, I mean, it's smart from SK. Don't try and make it into the bomb site. You know you're surrounded. You get plenty of time on the clock, so SK fights their way out. They go back and confront the 2 players on the flank and win both of those and leave Hiko in an impossible situation. Rogue needs to be more patient there. Let them get into the bomb site. Don't be the aggressors in that scenario. They have to either come fight you on your turf to make it to the B bomb site, or you can cordon them off and trap them inside the bomb site and force them into a plant where you have a 3-on-2 essentially while that bomb is going down. Little of the inexperience showing for this team and some of these players. No armor purchased for the Rogue side, but they do upgrade the pistols. Cadian's got a flashbang as well.
Yeah, they've got a little bit to work. Most of them over here towards long, and that's not going to find them anything as SK just go walking away blissfully over here towards this B-bomb site. They're going to get that for free. As Rogue have stacked everyone over here towards toilets and the A-bomb site itself. Although actually, no, they're starting to rotate players back, so it's going to be a bit of an awkward confrontation to take as now the players come rotating in. They've just jump peeked over and they've spotted so many players here. Rogue definitely know what's afoot. They've gone running into the Mac 10, the UMP on Fallen. They go down. It's Mac 10 and Fur to farm up some easy money. And Sick left. He's not going to be able to do any more than that. He tags Fur and Bolts down to 2 HP. But that's it. SK in with a second round here. That's some money made. And now a chance to make that much more.
Imagine this will be a pretty fast-paced round again, but either way, Rogue with the kind of lead they had, you could see without investing a whole lot, they'll be fine for the fourth round. It's not going to be the scenario we saw SK in. Here comes coldzera. Him and Fur both noted for loving the Mac-10s and loving anti-eco rounds. They go chasing down those kills. Utility and Molotov out. Are they going to clear the danger stairs? First spot's one, and here he is jumping. Spots a second. He is traded off, and there is a player down here. Now they crunch in. Good kill from Vice. All of a sudden a 3-on-3. But Bolts is doing as good a job as possible. Vice down to 7 health, and that's a big kill for coldzera, and a big escape for him as well. Vice has got to go chasing, but he's got no HP, and coldzera just jukes him out of his jockstrap.
That was nice from coldzera, finding that one kill and then also just tucking himself away. I don't think Vice saw it coming that he was going to stay so aggressive there. So SK onto an 8. This game already a lot closer than either of us I think anticipated. Early on, that Incendiary does find some decent damage with both Fur and Taco being tagged, and GMD is already out through mid. Doesn't have support from KD, and KD instead lining up a flash, so isn't there to trade, but he's there to provide something, although getting a team flashed off the angle. GMD's found a first. Bolts is swiftly able to trade it back. KD is still hanging around mid, but he knows he has to be very cautious here so as to not give any more away.
Is that a team smoke that got in the way of GMD? That seemed very awkward. I think he's going to be frustrated. Felt like
no,
he had
I think it was SK smoked off the Molotov.
Okay.
Yeah, so they could keep pushing out.
That smoke destroyed his vision. Tough. Good aggression though, and what it has done is kind of limited the options of SK. They had the majority of players over here towards the playground, towards Fountain. And now 3 towards Long A as they take control, but it's eating time off the clock. 50 seconds remain. coldzera's on his own over towards the B bomb site. It's actually Cadian. He's on the hunt with one of the AWPs. He's going to go up the ladder. SK could fall right into this trap. If he hears these footsteps, which he should, and actually he doesn't want to take that fight. Could have gotten 1. So here's 2 going back towards B, and you can see the rotation coming in. Rogue's going to have this stack. This is a very nice situation, but Cadian, he has a decision to make. Does he want to go for a flank, or does he want to go towards the squeaky door? He's got one more player of footsteps that he's listening to. Gotta be honest, he's going to go for the big flank. The hit hasn't come in yet. Everyone in position for Rogue. And look at the timer. It's now a factor. It's now a teammate for Rogue. 9 seconds, 8 seconds left, and they still haven't gotten into the bomb site. Just now they're making it. No one's here to actually challenge this plant. The bomb is being put down. They can't stop it. And Fallen with a kill, but they're being whittled down, and there's the AWP ringing in, and it's coldzera. A 1 versus 3. Who better if you're SK to turn this one in your favor, but Cadian's read everything. He had all the information for his team in a perfect defense.
Yeah, I mean, SK leaving that one as down to the wire as it could possibly be. They physically got there, and you know, if Bolts had been delayed by even half a second, they would have missed the bomb plant. So very fortunate to be able to open things up. Shows a lot of confidence though still within SK, you know, to trust themselves to actually be able to land a timing like that. You know, getting the bomb down. But still, the round goes the way of Rogue. They keep it pretty clean once again. And as you said, Cadian did it all. This round, they've gone for the double up setup. Sick tries to go aggressive out through mid. Hasn't found anything on the back of it. Misses the timing. Now he takes a position over in Toilets. He's going to start to relinquish that as well. Cadian in the meantime boosted up. Keeping an eye on aggression down here towards the B-bomb site from SK. Fallen actually leading the charge out through mid with the AWP. coldzera now backing him up, and they're going to start to take control of mid. Rogue playing this round very, very passively, with everyone back inside the bomb site.
Double op setup, it makes sense to keep that kind of spacing. Want the ops to have as many chances as possible as they work their way forward. Only one smoke on the SK side. It's the two Molotovs and the three Molotovs and the flashbangs that can be most effective, but they can't run the clock down as low as they did last time. Rogue had a great defense in the last round, but there were multiple ways they could have won that. 30 seconds left. The bomb just now getting picked up. SK, 3 players in the bathrooms, 1 out towards long. They're going to try and hit this bomb site. Here come the limited utility that they have. Fire is going to be everywhere. Only one smoke, and Sick going to try and get in front of it, and that's actually put out. GMD now on the other edge. They don't clear it. That's a mistake, not clearing that one out, but GMD not looking as they rock up. He's able to get 2. 3-on-3 scenario and 2 ops left for the retake, but the time is so low they can't stop the plant again though. And coldzera has a perfect position, and this should be an SK win. They have time to get into post-plant positions. And Rogue, they've got 1 kit on Hiko. And here it comes, Fallen with an angle towards Bank. If they don't get a kill, they might be choosing to save this one. This is very slow. A lot of opportunities now for SK. Fallen with the peak grab, Sick, and that should be it. Although the trade from Cadian is going to propel them forward. So little time left, and they still haven't even pressured Bolts, and Fallen's going to miss a shot, but he survives, and that seals it. That's the round over. Hiko is going to chase him down, but no chance to defuse. A 9th for SK, and they respond. There's not a lot of money. Cadian can drop 1 M4, and I imagine they'll buy behind these 2 AWPs, but they're not going to have a whole lot.
Yeah, they really don't have a lot to work with. I mean, 2 UMPs and M4, 2 AWPs. Sick, not really showing up all that much in the previous round with the AWP. Try and find more success into this one. Cadian this time, he's the man to go aggressive out in the middle. coldzera has already taken a lot of damage from that incendiary that goes down. Then they're gonna follow up with even more, and oh, they get tagged within inches of their life. Fur and Bolts both eat that nade. coldzera tagged down as well from the incendiary that fell to block off the early aggression from SK, and already this utility, the very limited amount that Rogue have, has been put to devastating use. And as well as that, SK, they've spent a lot of utility trying to deal with what Rogue kind of laid to the table early on. They had to waste the smoke to extinguish the incendiary over in mid. They also flashed the man out, so they've started to dwindle their own supply down now.
Utility is not the greatest friend that SK has in this round, as Fur misses a flashbang as well. And look again, I mean, they, despite winning, they're using a lot of utility to get map control, and it's not leaving them a whole lot for the end game. 4 flashbangs, 1 smoke, and 1 nade to work with, and they don't have a kill to show for it. They don't even have a lot of progress in that boost. Dropping down just barely misses Sick. Over towards the A bomb site. Although GMD moving down with the UMP has control. He's got it to the shadow, gives away the position, and he can't land the shot. Great kill from coldzera, much needed, but there's a follow-up. Vice is here, and Fur's watching for it. A headshot again. SK reading all the plays coming in. Even with low HP, they have everything they could need. Now the health doesn't matter against Cadian's op. And still the rotation isn't here. This is going to be so dangerous. Great kill from Cadian to delay as long as possible. He can find another one, but the jumping shot. 5 seconds on the clock. They need to get this plant. Cadian can stop it. He can shut it all down, but Taco's there with the support. And again, SK winds the clock down, and again they come out with the win.
Yeah, this is the 3rd round in a row where that bomb has gone down with 1 second left on the clock. I mean, and that was the most deadly. Cadian was there. He was on truck. He could have stopped the entire round in its tracks for SK. But they've been able to get it. They've been able to get themselves a 10th. And even though, I mean, these haven't necessarily felt like the most confident rounds, it's another pretty clean one for SK, all things considered. And on top of that, you know, I mean, this, you know, the way they've been playing it, having the clock run so low, I think that's showing that they are feeling quite confident in actually being able to get into these bomb sites and get the bomb down. Because, you know, moving into a site with 20 seconds left, 3 rounds in a row, and every single time being able to find the entries necessary and get that bomb down, it is showing that they are definitely now landing their shots. That's not the problem for SK. And that's why we see them about to pick up their 11th. This round will surely just be the eco in from Rogue, trying to use the AWP on Sick and the UMP on Hiko to do as much damage as they can. But this is where SK find their equalizer, you'd imagine.
It's certainly a massive advantage to be able to do it, and actually, I mean, maybe even taking the lead during this sequence. Rogue's got to be careful not to fall in the economic pit. I don't think they have the same pedigree on this map to be able to kind of come out from that rut as SK makes this comeback happen. Remember, this was 6-0 to start. In the favor of Rogue. This is going to be much quicker pace from SK. Here come the nades. There's 4 players here, but again, only the SMGs and the pistols, and Hiko misses his initial opportunity. Sick is here with the op, though. They just need to keep the space alive for him. He misses one. Taco's going to hunt him down, but coldzera watching for the wrapper on the other side of the pillar. Well managed from SK, a dangerous situation, and Cadian's going to get out of the door, but he's about to be cleared out. 3 kills for Taco in the round, and we're all tied up at 11.
Yeah, I mean, and as you said, I mean, it was 6-0 at one point for Rogue. It was a 10-5 half in favor of Rogue. Since then, they've been able to find 1 round on this CT side. So the struggle has been fairly real for them thus far. They've gone for a buy up here. 4 M4s, UMP up on Katie, and he takes the hit in order to get the extra utility. And with that, he's going to go over to mid. Probably going to throw in, I was going to say the usual incendiary, but no, he's only got the nade, and that really doesn't find as much damage as they would have liked. End of the world, though, they go ahead and start to fall back more passively into this bomb site. This time, though, they've given up a lot of ground. They're not challenging, so SK are going to get to hold on to a lot more of that utility, you'd imagine, into the end game. As Fur's already taken a foothold here in mid. Taco's found some success down in wood short. There are 3 players there. They're going to go walking into him, but Taco lines them up. Knocks down 2. Vice, he doesn't stay alive long, bolts in with the wallbang, and that was lovely. What a way to trade. Now suddenly it's just GMD and Cadian left, 2 versus 4. They're going to start to make their way into B, but they've got their work cut out for them. GMD's the first man on the scene, and SK coming his way.
That's a nice kill to get a nice opening. The nade chips him down just a little bit. Cadian's still not involved because of the flames, and actually SK, they're going to fool Rogue, and I think it's at the other bomb site. They're all here. They're all at B. coldzera, he's going to be so confused how there's such free kills, but he's going to love it every second of it. 12-11. And SK have grabbed the lead. I think that's the first time in this game they've had it. Fair play to them. The comeback is now complete. All that's left is for them to close it out. It's going to be a save for Rogue. It's going to be a timeout for Rogue. Is what? This was 10-5 at half, so it's been a 7-1 run. And SK is looking unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of relieved. I'm going to be honest with you. I was getting very worried there, Jason, for a time.
That was going to be a bit too much, that upset, if that actually happened. I mean, the nice thing is, and SK is one of the teams that very much believe in this. You know, a win is a win no matter what the score. So, you know, they're not going to care if they win, especially for an online game. They're looking to qualify for the playoffs. They're not going to care if they win 16-14 or if they win 16-5. So, in the grand scheme of the closeness of this isn't going to dictate a whole lot. But, you know, an upset of Rogue beating SK would have just been absolutely wild.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, it could still happen. There's still time, but SK definitely have all the momentum behind them. They're looking very confident.
It doesn't feel like it, though. Yes, no. It's like still within reach and everything, but like it just doesn't. You feel like even though it's only 12-11, it's you know, not a great lead. You still just feel like SK is in such good control of this half.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And you know, I think the scary thing for SK at this point, they really have to try and start to get some wins because. They're 2-6 right now. Of course, they have 2 forfeit losses that they got versus Liquid. Then they also have the losses to NRG when they played on the high ping. You know, some kind of like upsetting circumstances for them. And then, you know, they have a few other losses, I think, losses versus Cloud9 as well from the first week. You know, they're actually right down at the bottom, along with the likes of Dignitas right now.
Yeah.
So not where we would imagine SK being, and every win becomes important for them, you know, at this point in time, because we're halfway through this season. You know, they've played almost just as many games as everyone else.
Yeah, they need to go on a big run here to end this, which is worrying.
Taco, he's inside the site first, man, and he's found fantastic damage. Who threw that? Cadian. I think it was Cadian. He should take up basketball at this point.
Tough part is there's 2 more nades that could have done massive damage, but they're just coming in late, so you can see there's no real knowledge of where to throw them, so they can't, you know, pair up to take out Fallen or Coldzera and give an opening for this retake, and that third nade does absolutely nothing. So they wanted to have some kind of a stack, not expecting it to be over here towards A. One flashbang, one meager little flashbang to try and make this happen, and it's got them 1 kill, but Taco, he's going to go down as well. Fallen's still here with the AWP, and he actually gets a bit flustered, but these positions are just too strong, so are the weapons for anything to come from that retake. A nice attempt, an honorable attempt. And this might be the last really comfortable buy we see out of Rogue, as the losing bonus has built up.
Yeah, this is kind of do or die time now for Rogue. They had a very, very strong lead, and they want to try and turn it around once again. Luckily enough, they've kept SK fairly modest. It's Fallen and Coldzera who have a load of money, so actually buying is not going to be a problem into the coming round at least. Right, they have to win a couple down the stretch if they want to. They want to take an economic advantage. Not impossible though, and they have a decent bit of utility to work with in this round. Vice is trying to pressure Connector, and there's actually no one here from SK. There are players down at short, however. Vice could look to catch off guard. They've got him there for the quick pincer in from behind, although the smoke raiding into Connector, that's going to give away his position, so Bolts is very weary now of the man there. And the door has now been opened. It's no poltergeist, it is Vice. Bolts knows this. He's waiting for the push to come in, and actually Six going to now wrap around from short. Six in with a second, and that's fantastic. Cadian will fall, but there's 2 players over on short. Vice is wrapping around the back. He's in with 1 onto Fall, and suddenly it's just Coldzera and Taco left. And Coldzera and Taco, they've started to turn things back around. They've pulled it into a 2-on-2. Smoke's gone down and short. Six got aggressive though, and he's going to find a third. He has to get a 4K to win this round now for Rogue, and it's a massive one. Hiko comes in to save him. And just like that, Rogue, they are back with the 12th.
They got to reinvest a lot into this next round, though, so there's going to be a chance. Good job from Sick. The opening kill, or the first kill on Bolts, and the turnaround towards the bomb site to help him out. Behind this purchase, though, there's not a lot of money. It's only Vice who's even over 1,000. Everyone else is far, far below that, so got to be worrying. A reset here would be a disaster for Rogue, but equally, they have the economy on SK pretty much ground down, so this is a huge round for the end of the half. Is this going to be close? Can Rogue actually turn this in their favor right at the end? Snatch the victory away from SK. We shall see. The money has dictated so much for each team on the CT side, and it's going to dictate the end of this game as well. Smoke is out. Cadian's going to be blocked off, denied information. Boost coming over the top, though. Very narrow vision and a leg shot on a fur. Would have loved to have had that, but he's got to know he's got someone low. No HE grenade to finish it off, and just trying to spam through the smoke, and he's got to be careful. And yeah, just as it clears, Cadian trying to do too much. Off is dropped over to Fur with low HP so he can stay back, and it looks like he almost doesn't want to trade it off. And SK slowly working their way up towards this A bomb site. 2 defenders here, including Vice in that corner.
Sick doesn't last long, and now it all falls onto the man who's hidden in the smoke over at long. He's able to drop Fallen, but Bolts relentless in the trade. Bomb plant will come in at GMD and Hiko left alive 2 versus 4, and it's a very awkward spot to be in. They're not going to go for it. They will just give this round up the way of SK. 14-12 every time Rogue wins one. SK are ruthless and steal around back, and that's kept Rogue's economy down so low. throughout this half. They really have been at the mercy of this weak economy.
They're going to buy into the next round, though. This isn't going to be a save up and try and force OT scenario. They have 2 M4s, which is going to be better than they'd have, I think, if they were to save and go for one last. So behind this M4, Vice will be able to have either a UMP, maybe a FAMAS if he wants to go that route, and then 2 pistols next to it, or maybe a UMP dropped over from GMD instead of utility. So there's some options that Rogue can have some danger. I expect maybe a timeout here to talk it over, buy themselves a little bit more time. Here it comes. FAMAS onto Vice, CZ on Cadian, and Sick. 1 kit on GMD, and very light on utility. 4 smokes, 4 flashbangs. You imagine at some point Rogue is going to have a game plan to go aggressive and find themselves an early advantage. That's exactly what they're doing. 2 rush fountains, 2 pushing up long as well. It's only 1, it's 2 players here actually. First going to get the first kill. Transfers onto the second. That's beautiful, and that might just seal it. The M4s hunting in the playgrounds. Good kill from GMD, but they need more from him. And they might not get it. 3 on 2 in the favor of SK, and the B bomb site is lost.
Yeah, no, it's all on to Cadian. 1 versus 3. This would be unreal if he finds a way, but with all those guns down at mid, he's going to go heading this way, perhaps looking to try and find bolts in the rotation back. And bolts won't be hanging around, and this kind of means Cadian in a spot where he has to just grab one of these rifles and take it with him into the next round. Meaning Rogue have to pick up 3 in a row to force overtime here on Overpass. SK going to reach 15, no problem, and it's been a very, very strong performance from coldzera that has allowed them to retake this lead. Likewise, Sick trying his best, and he's had his supporting crew around him doing a decent job as well. But here we go, match point, 50-12. Pause called in. You can only imagine this is going to come from the... well, it could come from either, but you imagine it's going to come from Rogue.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to come from Rogue. I think SK is going to be happy to just keep playing with the kind of momentum that they've built up. And I think this is Rogue just kind of saying, all right, guys, we don't have a whole lot to work with. Like, what can we do? Where can we go? The aggression didn't work. Obviously, we don't really have the utility to sit back. They don't have a whole lot of positives to work with into this next round, if I'm completely honest. They've been shut down on this CT side. Only 2 rounds to their name. They won the 4th and got reset. I think they won the 26th and then got reset. Round 28 we go. An M4, an AK, a UMP, and some pistols. All their eggs in one basket towards the middle of the map. 2 players downstairs, 2 players at the top of stairs. Deep smoke is going to set off the warning signals in coldzera's brain as he edges his way around it. Oh, it's a great headshot. GMD, no chance of response, and coldzera, he even knows the follow-up to that kind of a play. Molotov out. He might have even spotted this player, I'm not sure, but either way, he's got it red, and he gets the kill, or he allows Fur to get the kill, but he's done all the work, and fallen with the pistol, making it look... Oh! That's an exclamation point onto a dominant half from SK, and that should be the map. Sick in a 1 versus 4.
I was going to say, how on earth does Fallen survive the first? And then he just goes back and styles all over Hiko. So yeah, it's just Sick left. He's been the star player for Rogue, but I'm not going to really hype this one up too much, Jason. I've kind of learnt my lesson about being hopeful here.
Okay.
You know, my dreams have been crushed many a time. So he's 1v4, and he's going to try and get the job done. He's up on A. SK, though, they're not taking any prisoners. They're clearing everywhere. They've got Taco down in B. He's going to be able to give the call across that this site is very much clear. He's going to go pushing the way of Sick, and Sick's now been spotted. Taco finds it, and that will be SK to win out this first map. It was a dominant run from then. A 10-5 half ends 16-12 in favor of SK as they all spring to life in that second half. And Rogue, they're going to be kicking themselves a bit. It was a good performance from them, but ultimately not enough.
Yeah, an admirable fight. I don't think we any of us expected that. Either way, we'll see if the desk expected it. They're going to return, and then they're going to send us into the second game. So stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Incendiary out.
Did I seriously get that dude in smoke?
Yo.
Game, record, and stream without compromise. An Intel Core i7.
Be focused. Be uncompromising. Be the best and never hold out. Pick your event. Place your bet. No matter who you are or what you're here for, it's our passion that unites us. Betway, for the love of the game.
In this game, I'm a master bowman.
Wait, nice skills, but you gotta pump up that look. Let's game flip it.
What? Game flip?
Yeah, Game Flip. Proudly endorsed by SK Gaming. Game Flip is the marketplace where 3 million gamers buy and sell items from thousands of games, including CSGO.
Much better. Looking good.
Join our ESL Pro League giveaway.
Be a boss. Buy and sell on Game Flip.
Has to go toe-to-toe with him now. We talked about flashiness. Can use the flash here. He does it again.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Betway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, MSI, Xfinity, and ESEA.
SK Gaming having a little bit of a rough start there. Of course, over on their CT side, they were only able to gain 5 rounds in total in what was a pretty landslide first half. Going into the second half, though, it's certainly turned into a different game overall. You're going to see a little bit of highlights here on your screen right now of just the battle that was D_Overpass 2018.
Correct.
Between Rogue and SK.
Couldn't be more on point, Trace, as usual.
as usual, here at the Xfinity Analyst Desk. Of course, at the Intel Esports Arena. Let's try to break it down, guys, and make some sense of what we just saw. Let's start with you, Pimp. You look just ready to get into it, right?
Ready to get into it. I mean, we didn't see SK perform the way we want to see SK perform. It was a very lackluster performance. It's a classic sign when you're able to win a game you shouldn't be winning, or at least win a game where you're not playing well, and that they do in this one. But overall, I'm just a little bit disappointed in SK right now. It doesn't seem like they're fully motivated. It doesn't seem like they're finding the game. Doesn't seem they're feeling the game. The only player who's showing up time and time again is coldzera. We talked about him in the game. He's Mr. Consistent, one of the best players in the world, if not the best. Currently, he's not able to show it because his team is just not up for it. There's something not working in SK right now, and something needs to change. Something needs to happen. Because even though they win this one, it was sketchy. It was a lackluster performance, and I wouldn't be able to tell that SK could win again had they going up against Rogue on Overpass one more time. It was simply just not good enough.
16-12, and that was not even what you thought the scoreline was going to be at the outcome of the first half. We could take a look at a head-to-head here between coldzera and Sick. We looked at it before the game started. We could take a look at it now and kind of dissect this one a little bit, Halvor.
Yeah, I mean, Sick did his part, really. He was the best performer on the side of Rogue, did what he could to keep things in it, but it's kind of hard to go up against coldzera in that sense, and coldzera really was a driving force for SK. You could see in the highlights, you know, some of the few rounds that SK managed to scrape together on their CT sides was off of the back of, again, excellent play from Cold. So, you know, on a day where SK doesn't have Cold doing what he usually does, that could go horribly wrong for them. Because as you said, they started off extremely slow to the point where Rogue were actually kind of just having their way with them in many ways, getting off to I think it was a 5-0 start, if not a 6-0 start, and looking pretty poised to actually just continue on that train for a long time. Obviously, their CT sides had things to you know, leave you wishing for more. Considering this was kind of a golden opportunity. You have a weakened SK that haven't really looked good for an extended period of time. You mentioned this in the pregame, the fact that they no longer have a map which is theirs. It used to be Overpass. It has been Train. At one point it was Inferno as well. Now it's just anything is wishy-washy. It seems like any team can give them a solid challenge on any given day. That's an extreme worry.
And that is the name of the game. Counter-Strike, Any Given Day. That should be the name of the next version.
Any Given Sunday,
of
right?
Which I already have a copy of the new Half-Life. But that's, you know, for another time, guys, please.
Pictures up on social media, actually, if you want, you know, beta keys.
That was pleasant. I appreciated that. Now, more pleasant than that would be the fact here that Rogue might be able to find a little solace going into the second map. It's going to actually be Mirage. In which case, could it be a different showing? Was this a slow start from the sleeping giant that is SK? What exactly are we looking at here?
I don't think it was a slow start for a sleeping giant like SK. It was just a bad game for a sleeping giant like SK, to be completely honest with you. I don't think we're going to expect anything different coming into this one. SK needs to win this one. They need to show that Rogue is just one of those ants that you just step on, you know, and move forward, because that's how it is. That's how the relationship between these two teams are. If you value them in terms of how much are these teams actually worth, if salary, all that kind of stuff, SK needs to win against Rogue 99 out of 100 times, and that's what we need to see here as well. That said, though, Rogue is going to be a little bit disappointed because they missed an opportunity right here. This was their game after the first half. They should have closed that one down, and they could have stolen a map off SK. Moses said it in the cast as well. You know, SK is not going to make this map loss up against Rogue in another game, because Rogue is not going to win against some of the top teams. This is their only chance basically to beat SK, because I'm pretty sure that we're going to see SK in 2 to 3 months from now on be on the same force as they're normally at. You know, so if you can't beat them when they're weak, when can you beat them at all? And that's probably the problem Rogue is dealing with right now.
You know what they say: kick them when they're down. Right, guys?
What if you can't?
Well, if you can't even kick them when they're down, well, you probably shouldn't be fighting in the first place.
Exactly.
I think is the underlying sentiment there.
Yeah.
But as we go into Mirage now, we know that Overpass was Rogue's pick, but looking at Mirage, this could be just a showing of sorts, dare I say, if you're Rogue.
Again, it's a thing of, even though you go into Mirage, and again, it should be a favored map for SK, as Overpass should be as well, you don't have too much confidence in SK regardless of what map you're looking at. That's the saving grace for Rogue in this situation. That said, we also did see SK win, as they usually do, while playing a bad game, and I think that's going to continue on. I don't think we're going to see a lights-out SK, but we're still going to see an SK that's good enough.
SK that's good enough. Now, you guys said that SK would take this pretty handedly. That's not exactly how this went, and we've got about 30 seconds from both of you at the same time. Do you stick with your judgment?
SK is going to win this 2-0. It's not going to be pretty, but coldzera is here to play, and Rogue can handle it.
Exactly right.
And just like that, the words were taken right out of Pimp's mouth. Of course, Halvor having the same sort of thought process
What do you have to
there.
say about that, Harold?
Yeah, let's go ahead and shift it over here to these guys. I'm sure you
gonna let him talk to you like that?
Yeah, you know, I think let Pimp get his anger out, may as well.
Okay.
Because like otherwise he'll get beat up
Very
by
mature.
someone or something
Very mature.
on the
Oh, yeah.
street, you know.
All right.
Well, we'll see you guys.
No, I have
Harry's
to.
gonna be waiting for you in the alley at
You
the
can
end of
count
the
on me
show.
waiting on you in the parking lot.
I think SK are going to take this kind of side with the analysts. I have to agree.
I think this map is going to be an absolute slaughter for SK. As in they'll be doing the slaughtering, in case that was confusing to anyone out there. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. All that's left is for the match to begin. Freeze time is underway. Nope, it just got reset. ESL production always making me look silly.
Yeah, that always happens to you, doesn't it?
It does. It always get thrown up. I'm like, all right, surely that was the last reset, and then there's one more. So here we go. I think the reason why I think this is going to be such a stronger victory for SK is once they switch over to the CT side, with the way that Rogue plays their T sides, I've already talked about it a lot, very grouped up. I think this is going to be those maps where you start to see guys like Fallen, guys like Fur, really take advantage and get some very, very big and effective flanks. This round is going to turn out to be a split towards the safe bomb site. We're currently inside of the skull of somebody. That's Cadian. We're seeing inside of Cadian's mind, and it's empty. You can see right through it.
Yeah, no, Pimp kind of set the bar low for me in terms of the Danish brain. So this, I kind of like this view. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you.
It is
I like
a bit intense, isn't it?
It's really making me feel like I'm a part of the action. There we go. Now it's Vice is fighting for his life. Oh, he's dropped the bomb. He's found Fallen. The bomb's down, and suddenly, now things could get tricky. They've gone ahead and retrieved it, and they're just going to look to get the hell out of there. But Hiko's been allowed to slip back into the site. Will they see this coming? Will they anticipate someone have moved onto their turf while they've been away? Oh, you really hate to see that. That's not what you would have wanted if you're Rogue.
Inhuman aim.
Oh, no, Jason.
It's painful.
We're back as well. Is this going to happen every... Who is it? Is it Cadian again? It is. I like it. I'm not even bothered. All CS events should be using that view model.
You shut your mouth right now. Right now, that is one of the worst ideas I've heard in a long time. I think it would be cool, though, to have like a show match or something where you play without crosshairs.
I actually used to play only without a crosshair.
Well,
and no sound.
That explains a lot.
Well, my idea is, you know, you read about sportsmen who like...
What, train with like 20-pound weights in their legs or something like that?
Yeah, no, or just
made
like,
it
you know, they
harder.
like didn't have ideal conditions to like play with when they were younger or whatever, and then as a result they like end up really good. I can't remember the name, but there was some golfer who like only had sandy beaches and one golf club, and he just learned to play on the sand with like a 9-iron, and then like he just ended up being unreal as a result the second he was on like an actual golf course with real clubs.
Yeah, the unfortunate part about that is you only ever hear about the success stories, right? You don't hear
That's
of
true.
the other thousands of people who have
Here we go. I mean, I'm a living, you know, not success story to playing with no crosshair and no sound.
Okay.
It doesn't make you better. It just makes the game much harder.
Much more frustrating. Oh, that's quite nice from Fur. He's going to love that. And Sick brought down low by the AG grenade, hiding, cowering even on the stairs. This one's about all sewn up. SK just fragging out. And actually, GMD does find a kill. Gonna try and get away with that AK-47. He's boxed in, though. He's gonna have Fallen cutting him off from T-spawn, and he knows it. And he's gonna have players starting to flush him out of Palace. They'll double peek this. They want this AK back, and this is just the 2 MAC 10, so it doesn't matter if they lose one or both. And in fact, they lose 0 of them.
Yeah, it's a good start from SK. They are, you know, bringing the heat early on this time. They're not going to let Rogue get to any 6-0 lead or any of that. They are looking to steamroll them. Which, you know, I always like that as a metaphor.
Steamrolling?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Just like, because it is as utterly crushed as one thing could get.
Steamroller's up there with like the big crushing machines, isn't it?
It definitely is, yeah. Oh, my favorite.
Were you
big
into the
crush
heavy, like the heavy machinery as a kid? Did you do that whole thing? In the States, we had like toys based off like the big construction cars.
Oh, what? Yeah, like the JCB stuff, and you know, all like the we had a few. I don't know. I always liked cranes, as opposed. You know, I just liked the way they could lift things. That was always impressive to me.
Okay.
I wasn't much for destroying. I was all about building, you know, Jason. That says a lot about me.
Yeah,
I
it
imagine
does.
you were into like, I don't know, maybe the steamroller, maybe there's some other destructive.
I was into the more destructive things. I like cranes. Line of the day. Well, here we are in a default. Cadian's going to push out towards Catwalk. Slow paced from SK. One in Palace, one in B Halls, a couple top mid. Gonna shift things up now once they realize there's no aggression coming. They still have plenty of nades. Only Taco who's used all of his, and Cadian's gonna get aggressive. This might be poorly timed, and I think that smoke is going to... SK had a plan. I think they wanted to set up a run boost. Smoke's gonna hold him back. Pretty clever for Cadian. He gets away with it, but now a flashbang over mid. They're still not out yet, and here comes that run boost. Flash gonna be out into the air. There's the jump from coldzera sideways. He spots one towards connector. I don't think that worked out at all how he planned it. And that's the bomb as well. Fur with the drive-by with that MAC-10, and Cadian just barely getting away now. There's so many players, 3 players towards this B bomb site. That leaves it all alone. It's so isolated is sick over at A. He's got everything to do. He's playing retake. 1 kill would be so nice, but he's gonna try and get away. And that's a good bite. That's a good fight. I mean, that's a good kill to get, but he cannot escape. 25 seconds left. The bomb's going down. Smoke down in towards the choke point. 1 Molotov left on towards Fur. He can use that for the post plant. You have to keep in mind as well, this bomb is no longer planted for the 2 players in jungle, so they've got to be careful how they play this.
Yeah, he goes wrapping up into connector. So we can buy. He spotted out Fallen. Now Fur is there to pounce to get the trade. He did use Fallen as bait. Polaris now going to fall. Taco's peeking out. Taco still buying time inside of the site, but GMD's going to find him. Now it's Fur 1 versus 2. They're on the defuse. They are going to be sticking it. The Molotov going to come on in, but there's a smoke down. And GMD, he's able to get away with this one. Rogue will pick up the round. And Fur tries his best. He needed the ace there to win that out. So Rogue, they found success in the rifle round. The buys are going to come back in for SK, courtesy of that bomb plant, keeping those first few rounds so impeccably clean. The scary thing here is Fur, already 8-0, 4K in that round, double his kills in 1 round. And I always think he's so wonderful to watch play, just at how he does things that no other human being should do.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's just so confident. He does all the craziest stuff. Because why not? He always looks bored as well while he does it. He's just like, all right. I think SK, even without the plan, would have bought into this round no matter what. They got it into a 1-on-1, and Cadian gets caught out. Taco with good positioning, and this round's already over. Getting it into a 1v1 in the previous round, Rogue's economy is nowhere, so they can't even fight for this. They just have to keep as many guns alive as possible. Save call comes in rather quick. Good pick from Bolts, good play from Taco, getting in front of the smoke and being far more aggressive than Cadian was ready for. 4th round for SK, and another buy coming up for Rogue in the next round. Cadian will be able to get at least an SMG. It'll be Vice who's really struggling for something. Maybe a dropped SMG, maybe a dropped pistol so he can have utility and armor.
Still a very, very clean round for SK, and that is much to the dismay of Rogue. All 5 players surviving, kind of starting to spell a bit of disaster here as the money keeps on building up. Double up set up in play, coldzera. He's got the other alongside Fallen. They're taking this over here towards the A-bomb site straight away, and there are 3 players here for Rogue. Looking like they might try to hand it aggression, but they've been caught out. They're not ready for this sort of speed, this sort of pace. Taco going to take one to the face, but Bolts tries to trade, and Cadian able to pick that up now. coldzera comes pouncing out with the AWP, but so much damage being done. The bomb's dropped up on Tetris, and the UMP farms up the last 2 alive on ramp. It is all on Fallen. 1 versus 4. And Rogue knocking at his door. He has to go ahead and fall back from Palace.
So much pressure from Rogue into that one choke point right onto the ramp. Feels like SK was trying to catch him off with a very, very fast attack. I think Fallen now at this point. I don't think he's trying to save quite yet. He's trying to do the craziest, longest route possible, and he's already being cut off. Good frag from Hiko, an easy one, obviously, as Fallen not expecting that whatsoever, but a good rebound from Rogue to prevent themselves from getting reset. This could be the start of something on the defense, all based off. Remember that fourth round? I don't know if it would call it a misplant, or that first round win from Rogue, that the misplant where the full defuse happened. I don't know if Fur was relying too much on the Molotov, not expecting there to be a smoke, or if it was actually just a miscommunication. But the one plant on the wrong side of the box for the players in jungle has kicked off a 2-round streak for Rogue, and they can build upon it now.
Ooh. Fur was not expecting that. He has had the crane and the bullet put back in cranium. Nah, swift, good delivery. 10 out of 10, I'm happy with that one.
Are you happy with that?
Well,
one?
you know, not really, but I'm not happy with much. Here's Cadian locking down mid. He's found one onto Bolt. He's going to go back for more. Vice is able to trade, though. The bait comes through, and now bomb on the back of Cold Zera. Ooh. Taco, he knows. See the little shadows, see the little twitches, and sick. Fall. Suddenly it's GMP. Hiko left. Taco's been tagged within inches of his life as well. Hiko, one shot away from going down. Taco's going to start to make his way out for the bomb, but Hiko playing the off angle. Taco does spot it, but Hiko's going to win it out. So Rogue, they're back in with another round. 3 to their name, and they've actually reset.
No, I think they're going to buy here. I think Fallen can get the AWP with armor, and then probably light armor and probably a smoke or a flashbang, and then Fur and Taco with the AKs. Actually, Fallen just goes for the AK-47, probably for the utility. Still a dangerous, deadly buy from SK, but Rogue is they've stabilized quite nicely, all things considered. Right through the smoke, here comes one. Vice spraying through. Good trade from Sick. Mid control goes the way of SK, and unfortunately Cadian peering over that smoke. The follow-up had not quite been in place yet. Now, that kind of gives up the game. That tells Rogue what's coming, and SK's not stopping from it. Cold Zera eats great nade damage. 56 HP on him. Defense holding strong. GMP with one, and the B bomb site is not going to be taken by SK. All tied up now, 4-4.
Yeah, it's another good streak coming in from Rogue. They've finally been able to break that SK economy. There's no money for them here. They have they've bought kind of on 3 of these players. Kind of relying on getting a bomb down here. They start charging. Cadian is fully flashed. They have been affording control of the site. Another missed shot, and now it leaves all the pressure on Device, but they haven't cleared him out. Finally, Taco's going to do it, so they do manage to get the bomb down, and maybe even more. The wrap round still yet to spring out from Cold Zera. He'll now emerge, and GMD gonna go ahead and feel the full brunt of that. Sick is very committed to this as well, all the way down in Sandwich. I don't think they know that he's here, but now they have to go for this. He's found the first and a second, keeps pushing in. His reign of terror is not done yet. Fallen's gonna flick back for one more, and now it's all onto Sick. Backed into a corner, tries to take the fight, but Cold Zera in connector locks in that round for SK. It was a risky investment, but they make it pay off.
All it takes is one mistake. I think Cadian was scoped up at the top of the ramp and just pulls out a nade, and the timing of it throws him off. It really puts his teammate on balcony in a tough spot that he can't recover from. And then Cadian goes down, and then the flanker, the lurker in middle from SK, I think it was Cold Zera, is able to take one out. And it all falls apart. After a 4-round streak to that, over the smoke as well. Fallen just outplays Vice in a big way. That's a huge kill, opens up all of mid. He's the only defender there. The defense is now split.
Already being to work their way down short. Cadian looks like he's going to peek into this, but Fallen has read it very, very well. He's already Fur. Cadian's not ready for that. Cadian's fallen. Down through ramp, Sick has gone. He's cleared a lot of ground, but both players rotating off of B. They've taken the gamble. They've stacked all 3 players towards this A bomb site. And SK now wrapping up short. They're going to get that B bomb site entirely for free if they commit to this. With Taco up in apartments, they are going to be heading on in any second now. And for Rogue, it will just be a save. 3 players left. Unless they find something, which, yeah, now you can maybe understand trying to go for it, but still with Sick being so far away and it's such a high risk, as well as Fur being down in mid. Yeah, you imagine this is the save called in, and SK going to find themselves a 6th round here.
Again, though, I mean, with saving these rifles, it's at least allowing yourself to fight in the upcoming rounds. As Rogue tries to salvage this CTF, which it looks like it's on the verge of slipping away from them. One more buy, and they're going to be broken, and then it's kind of, you know, open the floodgates, and SK starts to rattle them off, and then they could have a very big half. It could even be looking at, you know, a 10-5, much like the first map that was in the favor of Rogue. Could be an 11-4 for SK, so this next round is critical. And it just shows one of the tough parts of playing SK is this grind that they put you through. They're dangerous in each and every round. Even when they only have CZs and maybe just 1 or 2 nades, they always have a plan for those. 2 kills right around the edge of these smokes. Fallen and Fur doing some work.
Yeah, and a change of pace into this round. Fallen is already down in lower tunnels along with the rest of his team. Cadian's going to try pushing back into apartments. He just gets jump peek there by Fur. They know what's afoot. Fallen's going to be trying to peek on into this, and they have actually slipped GMD on by. It's a cold error. It's very relaxed over in the kitchen. Just chilling. Might have actually taken early on for Rogue. And that's actually locked SK out of this entire portion of the map. Lends a lot of information the way of this CT side of the. They're going to go ahead and give it up. GMD falls away. They've still rotated a 3rd man into this A bomb site. That is Vice over in the jungle.
This time the op is towards the B side of the map as well. It's usually been at A, so Fallen, he spots the legs. The jump goes for the follow-up at least. Gets the tag. The Molotov is out. That's going to mean the smoke has to come out, but not in time. Fallen burns Sick alive. Now Cadian is here. He's rotating over towards stairs. There's 1 player in Palace, but he's not going to be the main instigator of this hit. And Hiko, he's already caught off guard, spamming through. He's solo, and if you 1 bullet has to connect, and it's the last one that Fur fires. No one rotating over from the B bombs that has been able to get involved. The smokes are perfect, and even the spam through on Vice. 22 HP, and finally from CT spawn, they're able to respond, but Cadian misses a shot, misses the follow-up, and it's all downhill. 7-4 on Rogue. They're gonna have to probably sit around out. Cadian can just force an M4 out, but no one else really has anything of value. Fur at 12-4, good half from him so far.
Yeah, no, fantastic half from Fur. Although we have seen him slow down a little bit, because I believe we saw him have 8 of those kills by round 4. Something along those lines. Maybe round 5. Yeah, round 5. He's only had 4 since then, but the rest of the guys on the team have definitely gone ahead and stepped up around him. Now SK stacked up outside of this A-bomb. So looking like he's going to go for a set piece and rush on in. They've had a lot of success here, so why not? Smokes rain on down. Everyone over towards the connector side. They're going to try boosting over the top of that smoke. They've only got pistols to play with, but they are still dangerous. And SK have already gone ahead and got to a position where they can get the bomb down. The tower's going to get dismantled, and a Taco now pressuring CT. Damage is done out onto Fur, but the nades start to rain in, and that's going to allow them to dispatch a Vice. Sick. Hiding in the corner at CT, finds the first with the CZ. Not done just yet, still gonna wait around by the ticket booth, and Fur's just locking down the angle, shots rain in, keeping the pressure on. He's having to dance around the bullets. At this point, Rogue just looking to try and take as many players down with them as they can on the side of SK Sick. Oh, that's pretty gross there from Coldzera. Find him in through ticket booth. Cadian still trying to cause damage, and he's in a very good spot to do so. Still 3 players survive for SK. They get themselves an 8th round. Now the buy comes in for Rogue.
Solid buy as well with that save, that kind of light investment in the previous round. They can get everything they could possibly want. But can they stop SK here? We shall see. 1 kit on GMD. A little bit of a scary prospect. Fallen gonna go for that early pick. Not able to find it. 1 player on top of balcony right outside of Palace.
This change that Cadian Zebedon was at top of mid, and he has Vice there with him. Vice can provide all the support he needs to find an opener, and the person he finds, if he does find anyone, it's either going to be Taco or Coldzera. Coldzera has the bomb on his back. SK going to attempt to draw the attention out of mid when they throw these smokes and flashes into the A-bomb site, which now you can see the pressure's going to be on Vice to start to rotate back into Connector. Cadian's fallen back through short. The 3 players start to progress on in, and they haven't found anyone just yet. A lot of that comes because Sick is up in Palace, and they're not wise to that fact. Cadian just going to miss the timing. Coldzera spots him down in mid, and that's now the push heading in towards B. The bomb and Taco start to make their way in, but the frags are being found, and there is still Hiko here inside the B-bomb side, but a missed spray finally picks it up onto Taco. And now Coldzera versus Hiko. Hiko's going to win out the duel, and that's the bomb dropped. Only 17 seconds left. No time for Fallen to get back into this round. And just like that, Rogue will be in with a 5th.
They needed it. It's been quite some time. And the half not looking good so far. There's going to be 2 more rounds they have to try and get up towards 7. Fallen's going to find one right at the end, and that's a loss that doesn't need to be taken. Some money away. Not the end of the world. But guns are going to have to be dropped over. And if SK respond with a win here, that's really going to hinder the last round of the half. Vice and Hiko down at $50. Taco, he wants to get aggressive, and he is. He's going to be in front of him, and he spots one jumping out. Can't complete the kill, and actually, that's an insane return from GMD. And it didn't look likely that Rogue was going to get anything from that aggression when Taco almost stops it cold, but they actually find 2 kills out of it, so well played. Cadian gonna try and peer over his own smoke, gonna try and jump up at some point. 1 player trying to cross catwalk, that's Coldzera. Peering in towards A, might have a chance to find a kill. There's a player just barely out of his vision, and Cadian's still not able to spot anything. Timer on when the smoke clears, and he wants to make a play through it. Still hasn't spotted anyone. They know exactly where he is. They know there's the peak. Good trades, 1 versus 2. Not a bad situation for Coldzera, who just catches the hip of Sick and slides out. And here comes another duel. Peeking out from catwalk. Cold going to try and run the gauntlet, and Hiko hasn't spotted him yet. Coldzera hidden along the wall, running along the bench, gets the bomb planted. Gets stuck on the wall, but is now spotted out as enemy, and I think that movement right there, Hiko never will have seen that. Oh, what a win. What a response from Hiko, looking the other direction. Beautiful, a brilliant one-on-one. Caught me a little bit off guard.
Yeah, no, I can tell you weren't ready for that one. And
yeah, I thought it was going to be at least a couple more seconds before the action kicked off.
Yeah, no, Hiko is very, very quick in correcting that. It was a nice attempt there from Coldzera, faking the cross to CT, and then during those few moments where Hiko was looking away, crosses back into the side, but Hiko's able to win it out. So now suddenly 8-6, the potential an 8-7 half for Rogue, and I mean, yeah, it was looking kind of shoddy from them initially, but they've been able to make it a very, very respectable scoreline once again. They want to try and get this round, though, last of the half. And they're going to find good damage early on onto the players up in the top of mid. Fur's out through lower tunnel. He knows that Vice currently resides up in the window room. Flashing to connect it, but Vice still got to keep his position here. In the meantime, Taco in apartments. He's just been spotted by Hiko. Vice has been tagged within inches of death. He's going to go pushing into Fur. So that is a man given up over here in mid. SK will take that free frag all day long. Utility's starting to dwindle now as well. One incendiary, one smoke for Rogue, and a collection of flashbangs. Not much left for SK either. And that's a nice shot from Cadian. Fur has fallen, and just like that, back into a 4-on-4. SK setting up to play towards this A bomb site.
Yeah, but SK has really nice positioning with coldzera in this ladder room. This defense is so spread out. It's going to be a 4-on-2 at either one of the bomb sites they decide to hit, and coldzera is going to be the one who tries to initiate the action, trying to draw attention away from the A bomb site. One kill would do it, but he's not ready for GMD, the off angle, and that spurs SK forward over towards A. Cadian has rotated off with that AWP. He's going to peek CT spawn shortly, but he's got just a second to find bolts, and he does grab them. No utility left for SK. One player in mid. GMD going to drop down. Bomb being planted. There's the peek, but GMD can't stop it. That's so much damage being dealt. Fallen with one more kill, and he's in a 1 versus 2, and he wants to find Cadian, and he does. Now a 1-on-1. This is brilliant from Fallen, and he can just play the bomb. 2 flashbangs and a kit for GMD, trying to complete the retake, but he's at a disadvantage here. Fallen at A ramp, waiting patiently for the aggression, and footsteps are going to give it away, and he's not going to miss that shot. It's too easy. 9-6 on the T side for SK.
Yeah, good first half from SK. Fantastic 1v2 from Fallen. Rogue can't be too disappointed though. They lose the pistol, they lose the following force by rounds as well. And they still managed to salvage a 9-6 half. So not too bad, all things considered. Now as they move on to the T side, can they continue to find some success here, or will it continue to be the SK Gaming show? We're about to head into the second half, and only time will tell. A pistol round win here for Rogue would mean a potential at tying things up 9-9 though, and that would be a fantastic start to their T side half. And into this buy, they've gone ahead and bought 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs, looking like they're going to head over towards B.
It was the CT side as well that have given both teams struggles throughout this series, both on Overpass and now in this first half. Rogue could only muster up to 6 rounds, so if that trend continues, SK could be in some trouble. Taco alone here, caught on the windowsill is GMD, but he completes the frag anyways. And Fur misses a chance to whittle down the forces, misses 2. Tough shots, but a near impossible retake, it feels. Great positioning from Rogue. 4 players set up in the bomb site back towards benches. 1 player close up. That's a peek that did not need to happen for Sick. Cadian now inside the smoke. Now this gets weird. Now this gets dicey, but Hiko is there to hold on for Rogue. Fur trying to make his way in with the help of bolts. They're finding some kills. There is a kit on Fallen who's late to get into the action, and because of that, he's going to find a free frag. They've kind of got the lay of the land for him, and now he's coming and trying to strike. It's got to be an immediate headshot here, and he's out of bullets. Now just trying to reload, and there's no time left on the clock. Certainly he can't win this one. He's going to try and just bail away, keep this kit in his hands for the next round. And I think he's just done it, but a good pistol round win for Rogue.
Yeah, now the potential to take things to that 9-9 scoreline. The force spy going to come in here from SK. And Fallen, of course, holds the kit forward, so that's going to be handy for them. They will have that to work with, and SK has shown us time and time again how proficient they are with these CZs. And, I mean, that kind of shows the lack of confidence perhaps that people have in SK at the minute. Those odds aren't... It's not really the odds we'd expect to see for this sort of matchup. Fallen holding mid. He's going to be forced back as they take immediate control through short, but now the pressure's on for Vice. He's got so many players coming his way. He has support coming in from Hiko. They have a very nice crossfire set up. Vice looks to try and put a stop to it, but that shot from Fallen hauls it back into a 3-on-3. The bomb's going to go down inside the B bomb site. And the question for SK is now, do they even try and go for this? A lot of it going to depend on how this first engagement goes. Bolt's trying to sneak on in, but Cadian holds close with the MAC-10. Bolts, it all comes down. Does he check this angle? Fallen's actually going to drop GMD. Cadian responds. being the scout king right now, it all comes down to him. And that's a third, so okay, Fallen. Now that kit that was carried forward going to play into this round. He has an AK to work with. Fallen versus Katie, and he taps on the bomb to try and bait the peek out from Katie, and he's into the smoke with a knife out. Fallen's tagged him down so low, and now he's on the bomb. What is going on in this round?
No. Oh, thank God.
He just gets denied, but they make that round very, very expensive, and that was utterly brilliant from Fallen with the scout.
Yeah, it was. Those are some disgusting headshots. This one is the one that, ooh, that's even a no scope. So very nicely done from Fallen to build upon it as well. Good response from Rogue. I'm actually surprised they took that much damage from it, considering when you see Fallen with that boost in mid early on, that tells you there's at least 2 players that have to go through Underpass when your team is taking fast mid. Hiko and was that Vice had that kind of crossfire set up at the top of the stairs, and I'm amazed they didn't just wipe out SK at that point. So it actually turns into a very expensive round. This one should be much cheaper. Should be able to get this bomb site for free. Goes down without a whimper. Bomb will be planted, and if I'm SK, I'm just staying away from the SMGs, just not giving away the bonus money. You're not going to really find too much in this round, in this kind of a scenario, in terms of an AK-47 to be taken away. But the MAC-10s are on the hunt. 2 kills on GMD. Crossfires and stacks in the B bomb site. 3 players. Either way, it is going to be all tied up at the end of the day. 9-9. Rogue giving us a game here on Mirage. There goes Cadian. GMD, the last Mac Daddy left. He's got 4 going for the ace, but the reload puts that to bed. Gun round coming up.
Yeah, and a shot for SK to retake this lead. Now, Rogue, they've got money to invest into the next round. Vice and GMD would be limited. So a loss here isn't the end of the world, but they want to try and keep SK on that back foot economically. Smoke goes down in mid. That's going to deny the Molotov out. But already there's so little utility left for SK when you look at it. 2 smokes and 4 flashbangs, not ideal, considering there's still 1 minute 30 on the clock. And Rogue have everything going their way in terms of utility right now. Not really pressuring anywhere just yet, though. Waiting very, very passively. Now another one of those smokes gone from the SK Arsenal. Fur, who's currently down in connector, he's the only man with anything left really to have a say here. He's got ahead of throwing out that smoke into the base of connector, trying to peek over the top, but he's been spotted by GMD, and now the pressure's on for Coldzera and for Taco. Coldzera's going to get mollied out of the position here. Actually, slightly misses, and it's going to instead land on the truck, or the van, rather. They've been forced out of B, though. And actually, Hiko's going to get caught rotating back. So what was looking like a very good round for Rogue is now started to look dicey. They're going to be able to get this bomb down, potentially, but Bolts residing in CT could put a stop to all of this.
I think dicey is almost too kind. We'll see. Vice with low HP, 25. Cadian's got good position, but not when you're all alone. And at this point, Coldzera doesn't even have to push in towards the murder hole. He can just wait for the peek. There's Cadian. They know exactly where he is. They've tapped the bomb. Almost finds Fallen. It goes down without a kill. Plenty of time to get this defuse. And SK, not only do they win the first gun round, but they win it relatively clean. Only Furf dies. So, money in the bank. Upgrading to the AK-47s, and here we are, 10-9. And this is where that second round comes back to play, where SK, even in a losing effort, killed all 5 players of Rogue. After this bye, the terrorist side, the offensive side, has nothing to play with afterwards. They're going to be clean out of cash. And they go for the heavy play towards the A-bomb site. Smoke going to be at the top of the stairs. Do they wait for it, or do they try and contact through? Molotov will slow him down. No one even in Palace at the moment for Rogue. It's looking like all 5 players up ramp. There's 3 members here for SK, and here it comes. First player up is Bolts back towards CT spawn, and coldzera. He didn't spot the one crossing him. He didn't see it until too late, but he does get the kill. He's traded upon immediately after. His attention was divided, and Rogue have a chance to get into this site. Sick waiting for some kind of indication, and Fur finds it, a gap in the smoke. Now they're just being slowly whittled down. Cadian below half HP at 34. The bomb does get planted, but a tall task ahead of him.
Cadian waiting for a flash that misses its mark. A second comes in too late. He's already been dropped, and now it's Vice, and Hiko backs against the wall, trying to hold back the coming tide of SK. Peek out from Bolts. Okay, Vice, you're going to pick that one up. Be burnt out, and it all falls onto Hiko. Taco and Fall and mop it up, and SK will be in with an 11th round, 11-9. They keep 3 alive, building up more money here. And the reset now comes in for Rogue. Kind of having flashbacks now to Overpass here with this sort of scoreline and how the money's playing into it now for Rogue, as SK look primed to find a 12th round.
Yeah, I mean, remember, like you said, it is a bit of deja vu, because once the money got settled for SK, they wanted a 4-round run, and it really looked like they kind of got their legs underneath them finally. Similar story here. And Rogue gonna have to sit one out. Sick has some armor and a CZ. He's the only one with armor. 2 smokes as well on Cadian and Hiko. It'd be tough to take that B bomb site without any flashes. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly is their plan. It might be, you know, smoke towards connector, smoke in window room, and see what you can find trying to get mid control. See if, you know, just a kill or 2, and you can find some way to get through it. At the moment, looking for aggression. Aggression, I don't know what that is. Aggression that's not coming.
I kind of like aggressman.
Yeah, it's weird.
I would call Fur an aggressman, because he's just always, you know, pushing the issue. Maybe that's a new term. Probably not. But yeah, they're over a mid. I'm not going to dwell on that point any longer, Jason.
Let's not. Let's move along swiftly.
But here's Fur. He's locking it down at the 4 in connector. He's actually just going to go ahead and... Oh, he goes back in. Never mind. They're all coming his way. 1, 2, and I'm going to say 3. But Fallen's here, and Fallen does go down. So now suddenly things get a little bit dangerous. The AWP's been retrieved by Vice. Not usually an AWPer, but gotta put it to use. coldzera's gone. There's only 14 seconds left, though. I don't think he can make the run into B, so you imagine he's just going to have to save. Hold on to the AWP to the next round.
Which is fine. He's got enough money for it. This would be a really nice save. You pass the AWP over to Cadian. He can actually have a much stronger buy with an AWP, and he can drop an AK-47 over. So nicely done from Vice, fighting his way out. In the grand scheme, it's a small consolation prize if they don't put rounds on the board. Haven't won a gun round in this second half quite yet.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like to me a lot of the missed opportunities falling on someone who seems to be still having a hard time with things right now. Cadian struggling, and he's got the AWP once again this time. There we go, finds the first 6 out of respond, and this aggression gets shut down. So that's
very weird aggression. It's almost like Fallen peaked out of like just like out of habit, not actually clearing the angles. Almost was like surprised to see anyone up there. The flashbang came out a bit early, and everyone from Rogue was unblind by the time the peak came in. So 2 players down. SK have to recover in a 3 versus 5. They do have Bolts hidden in the A bomb site, and they have Taco continuing to push. He's gonna have a very fast flank. He might be the person they have to rely on. That Molotov is used to support Bolts to make sure no one can come out from an awkward angle, and that fight needed to be won. Now it puts even more pressure on Taco to speed things up, more pressure on Bolts to have a stellar individual round. Nade might give away his position and can get nothing. Couple players at half health, but Taco certainly can't do this. Might want to just grab the op and run. Hoping someone's going to peek him. He doesn't want to commit all the way. The fact that he took so long to make that decision means Hiko has him boxed in. I don't think Taco's ready for it. He's aware of the possibility and walking is going to give him up to the God of Death.
God of Death. Is that just because he died, or is that Hiko's title?
It's just because he died.
Okay. Hiko not quite making the cut for God of Death, no?
Not these days.
Fair enough.
He's one of the ancient gods. His power has dwindled over the years.
One of the old gods. I like that. Well, okay, why do we always see this? Fallen, he kind of...
I think he doubled up GMD as well. Thank God spam coming through the edge of the window, or else he might have had a clean shot with no aim punch.
I really love watching him use the scout. It's always good. Still, Rogue with the man advantage. They've got control of mid. I say that Taco's over in window. He's just going to go ahead and skulk on out of there. Doesn't want to stick around. Fur is in connector, and he's been pretty good in this position. This time only with a PT50. He's not expecting the world from him. And Taco smokes off apartments and now actually exits. They're stacking all their forces over here towards mid and SA bomb site. But I like the fact he quickly ran in just to throw that one smoke, just to give the illusion that there is a presence here over at B. Sadly, no one from Rogue actually holding apps, but it doesn't matter because they look like they're going to go ahead and hit this A bomb site. So they are walking into the stack.
I guess that's the best you can hope for if you're SK. Crossfire at the top of connector, but it's all going to go to waste if Sick doesn't make a move. Bolt's here with the deagle. Great headshot, or great kill, actually, excuse me. Traded off by Hiko, and there's another one towards connector. Fur with an AK-47 and a 1-on-2. He has a kit as well. The only thing he's missing is armor, but that's a nice headshot. Thankfully, Hiko gets the trade. That could have been an awkward angle. Brought into a 1-on-1, and Rogue only one round behind SK now. It's 11-12, as they're not quite done with this map just yet.
No, they're not. They're making it competitive. And I mean, I figured if they were going to get a win, it would be on Overpass. But they've managed to put things very, very close here on Mirage. And actually, this is also a good map for Rogue. There's no denying it. This is the one that they normally elect to play. So getting both is pretty good for them. Already, they're up into connector. They're moving very, very swiftly into this A-bomb site. That's going to catch Fallen and Bolts, both of them off guard. And this is the A-bomb site already given up. 3 versus 5. And Cold Zera just smitten with Vice. It's going to be Fur and Taco left alive. They're going to try and save 2 versus 5. So it's going to be tricky because Rogue are definitely going to come hunting for this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right. So SK not ready for that. That round's over pretty quick. And yeah, it's actually huge if they're able to take these guns away. Flashbang in towards Market, blinds Taco, and he's taken down by Sick immediately afterwards. Now it's just Fur. At this stage in the game as well, this is kind of a... I mean, look at the money on SK. 4 players at 0. Kill from Fur, and that's going to secure the fact that he can bring an AK-47 forward, but it's all they have to play with. (12-12). And Rogue has the advantage of economy down the stretch. And SK is going to have to sit this out. Only pistols in the AK that was saved.
Yeah, Cold Zero has Deagle and armor, but that's going to limit his buy into the next round. Which, you know, almost feels like a little bit weird. They're really hoping that AK could have got something done. It's actually the first thing to fall. And I mean, now I guess maybe the silver lining is Cold Zero is there on short. He could try and push forward and grab the AK from Fur's deceased body, which he might be allowed to get. He's waiting. He's definitely going to try and go for it. The only issue is his Vice is locking down the angle. So yeah, Cold Zero goes forward, and Cold Zero, yeah, he'll pay for that with his life. 3 on 5. Both the armored players have already been dealt with. And it does feel a bit odd to see Cold Zero go for that sort of ambitious buy, because it feels like SK kind of need everything they can get at these rounds now. Fallen's grabbed the AK, at least he's over on short, and actually he's mopped up 2, so just as you kind of start to write them off, Fallen comes back, and he's in with 3. There is still a man up in apartments. The bomb's completely ditched, though. GMD's now left fighting for his life. There's a man wrapping around from behind in the form of Bolts. He's going to start to try and get out of there, but Fallen, he hears him. They know what's going on, and the game is very much afoot. Bolts up in the top of mid, going to drop GMD, and now it's all onto Cadian. He struggled in the first half, and now he has to come in clutch. 1v1 versus Fallen. Cadian peeks into it, and Cadian wins it out. So Rogue, they will be taking the lead. Only one man survives, though.
No, this is great damage done to the money of Rogue. I mean, it doesn't matter a whole lot because the previous round was such a big win, but Fallen doing his best to turn this in their favor. 3 kills for him. Cadian with that op, that might have been the worst weapon to go up against in that 2-on-1 in that situation for SK. Either way, Fallen's got one back in his hands. He only has a flashbang behind it. And it's desperation time. He's actually bringing this in towards Underpass. Going to appear up the stairs, misses the kill. Now he's in danger. How do you get out of this one? If anyone can do it, it would be Fallen. He hasn't fully evacuated just yet now. Going to try and run for it. And just going to throw caution to the wind, jumping for information before making the play. So initial damage averted for Rogue. But Fallen not punished for essentially just running all the way around the map. Three players in mid, two walking towards connector, one right at the base. That's going to be Cadian holding with the AWP. They're going to turn in towards connector, and Fur has got to be careful. Molotov out to slow it down. What's the response from SK?
They've got to move Taco over here into jungle. Bolts is down at the bottom of ramp. Fallen's actually completely left that B bomb site and is now watching from shop. And Rogue starting to creep out from connector. It's sick to try scout out this A bomb site with the majority of the players being over here in jungle. He can actually just walk on in. I think there's a gap in the smoke, and they're going to boost Fur over. He's let the first two go by. Now spots out the man on stairs. Okay, took a little bit of a time there. Six going to double down, but now Bolt's going to emerge from ramp. And very quickly it all falls onto Vice. 1v3. He hops on down, leaves Palace, tries to take the fight with Cold, and Cold will win it out.
Nice win from SK. Bolts and Coldzera each with 2 kills. That's huge. So is the money behind Rogue, though. They've got a lot of cash built up at the moment, so they're not out of the woods just yet. Sick doing his best to hold off this retake attempt, but the flank from Bolts is what really secured it. Double op setup now for SK. This has been a strategy, a defensive setup that's been very kind to them in the past. One on Fallen, one on Taco. Fallen's got his towards connector. Taco has his towards the B bomb site. That'll allow his teammate Coldzera to be very mobile in terms of how he wants to rotate. And actually, Taco's going to get an aggressive angle. And there's the tag onto him. Cadian, he looks for it, reads the play. That will temper Taco's aggression, but not Fallen's. But again, no kills coming out early on despite some of the aggressive stances from the ops.
Yeah, Fallen has to be careful though. He's in danger of being caught out at the bottom of mid here. Vice surely clearing out Palace. Rogue there, taking this round much more measured. Very, very slow and methodical in their approach. They try going over towards B early on. They've tagged Taco down, and now they turn their attention over towards this A bomb site. Only issue is, Fallen's down the connector. He hasn't been challenged. He hasn't been pressured. He's got free reign over mid for the time being. He's going to be there straight away the second his push comes in, and then you have Bolts and Fur inside of the site. Okay, down that flash going to go towards mid. That's to try and keep Fallen's attention fixated there, which it will for the time being. There's only 30 seconds left though, and the smoke only now just dissipating. They have to go for this play, and it has to be pretty damn quick. Both Fur and Bolt still having Sindris. They're slowing down this push as they now rain on in. There's only 20 seconds. Time's ticked very, very low. Fallen's come rotating round. The pressure's going to be on. There's only 15 seconds left on the clock, and
that's you don't see this too often, but obviously Rogue did not like the defense they were going up against and decided instead of risking it, they're just going to sit the rest of the round out. So 4 players going to keep their weapons, but they don't make any bonus money. So they have to rebuy all those nades, so they're essentially going to be brought down towards 0 at this juncture in the game. That's almost crushing.
Yeah, it's very risky to go for that.
Yeah, because the repurchase of the utility brings them to near nothing, and then if SK win this, you don't have anything to really toy with in the next round. You can't drop any guns. You're only going to have pistols and armor. So a little bit of a nightmare scenario for Rogue, as trying to find the correct answer in the previous round, they just run out of options. SK had them outplayed. This is going to be more faster paced, and there goes Fur. Peeking right into the AWP, and coldzera can't respond. Still on top of the box, though, peering over the smoke. Haven't spotted him yet. Flashbang out. Not blind, but they're going to come right through it, actually, in a ladder room, and coldzera misses another one. So 2 sitters. Or at least one towards the end. He was in a good amount of danger, and prioritizing his safety probably took a quicker shot. But look at the position that Vice is in towards connector. And this is how you try and come back from a man disadvantage. Fallen is risking a lot, being aggressive in Palace, having information, hearing nothing on A ramp. Bolts turning the corner, peeking out, had to win that fight. Vice, 12 HP. He can have an avenue into this A bomb site that's pulled rotations away, that's kind of frozen Fallen. And Taco, he's being wrapped upon so many different angles. He's aware of what's coming next, but even he can't win it. 5 on 2, it's the 2 AWPs. coldzera and Fallen absolutely cannot fight for this round.
Yeah, just like that, it's the 14th for Rogue. Buys would have coming from SK into the next. Now they really don't want to go hunting for these anymore. I mean, but now to find coldzera at least. Fallen kind of desperate to hang on to it, because I mean, if he doesn't save his, then they can get an AWP in the next round, but it is going to restrict their buy a hell of a lot. You'd see one player without a rifle. Were that the case? But it looks like Fallen might just get away with this. Actually, no. GMD now starts to pressure him. Luckily enough for him, there's no one holding this push around the back. But he has to be really GMD and Sick both hot on his heels now, and Fallen, he gets caught right at the very end. So just like that, now the buy really does get called into question. There's going to be the AWP thrown from Bolts, but as I said, that leaves one of these players without a rifle. Oh, no, it doesn't. I'm just very, very bad at maths.
It's not the easiest thing to read.
No, of course, it's because Fallen didn't buy armor, so he was able to throw a FAMAS across to coldzera.
Don't beat yourself up. Well, here comes this boost round 2, and it yields a kill this time, but immediately traded. Actually, 2 kills for each team. And Fallen brought down towards half health, and there goes Bolts. A bomb site is open for the taking. Smoke going to be dropped in towards CT spawn. Taco on the rotate has to do so much. He's being very cautious, respecting that there could have been for Rogue a chance to upset in a round where it's going to be Fallen's op, and I think just pistol armor for SK.
Yeah, they put their all into this round, and to lose so much so quickly. This round literally taking, what, 30 seconds before Rogue win it out. It looks like they could walk away with this 16-14, and I mean, splitting the series, I don't think there's something that anyone really predicted. Rogue are looking good right now, and SK, they've had their fair share of mistakes as well to help them with that along the way.
Listen, I thought SK was going to smash them out of the server. So
yeah, I mean, I did say we're going to see some 16-0s tonight.
Yeah, that's not happened.
No, that has not. In fact, almost both these games almost go in the full 30 rounds. This one might not even end just yet. You never know. But this buy from SK does not instill confidence. 3 players over towards B. One of them being Fallen. He's going to start to aggress that in towards mid. He's the man who has to make a very big play to keep SK in this. And he's found the first, but 6 there to trade. And they keep forcing their way through, but they haven't cleared out coldzera. He could do so much damage. He only gets 1. Now Taco's here to do some damage back. 1 man down for him. It's Fur and Bolts. Have to try and claw this round back from the depths.
Bomb's going to be planted. There's no kits as well. Vice inside the bomb site. 1 on catwalk. 1 is going to have to come through markets. That's Bolts. He's only got the deagle. Fur with the AK at least needs to find some information for his teammate. And he goes in prime position. There's his info. One on catwalk. Flashbang over as well. He's getting shot up through the bench. That's not good. Vice has to start moving as well. Hiko 1-on-1 for the map, and he's gonna get it. Bolts can't land the shot. Good spray from Hiko. And it's gonna be 16-14, an upset. A wild one.
Yeah, not one that I don't think anyone saw coming. A great performance there from Rogue, and I mean, I'm kind of speechless from that.
Yeah, that was hard fought as well, because they faced you know, a lot of adversity, a lot of obstacles they had to overcome. They put their heart and soul out there, left it all on the map.
They gave it their all, Jason.
Back to you in the studio, Trace.
And here we are at the studio. Yes, indeed, the Xfinity Analyst Desk. And we're going to try to break this bad boy down for you. SK Gaming taking an L here on Mirage. It's pretty close, though.
Yeah, but a big L. Considering the situation that SK find themselves in right now, they're sitting at 3-7 after 10 matches played. That's definitely not what you would have expected. Obviously, some of them were due to different, you know, playing circumstances, playing from Europe and whatnot, but in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't really matter when you tally up the points at the end of the season. So right now, SK's schedule, sure, they've gone through some of the harder teams already, but it's still hard to see a lot of these teams sitting in the top 6 who have less games played than SK, where they're going to drop enough matches to actually give SK a chance of qualifying. It's getting to that point right now.
It's at a point where it's a danger for them to make the finals right now, and nobody would have thought that going into the season. And just gotta agree with you. This is SK on the knees right now. It is definitely not working out for them, and there's you can just see the way they play. They don't play with the same confidence. We never see those like how to say that, like the rounds that they're not supposed to win. SK is notoriously known for always turning them around, you know, winning 2-2s or winning 2 versus 3s or 2 versus 4s. They don't win any of those. And we had GMD, a guy we in the beginning of the season we were questioning what is he on Rogue for, because he was not having a great time, but after all the rumors said that he was pretty good in practice, and now we got to see how good he actually is. The last 4 rounds or last 4 games he's played for Rogue, he's probably been the best player. So interesting to see how this Rogue lineup keeps progressing in terms of how the level is actually getting better and better. It is a case of SK playing like dog shit, to use that word once again, but Rogue is you know, they're grabbing the opportunity and they're making the best out of it, and you cannot expect more from a team like Rogue, who's just here to avoid, you know, playing for the relegation.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that we've been consistent about with Rogue, at least in terms of you know, what we've brought out as a positive for them, is the fact that they've had the fundamentals and the ideas
for sure,
for how they want to play out their games from the start of the season, and that's, you know, good, but you obviously need to have the individuals actually being able to carry it out. And that wasn't necessarily what we saw a lot of the times to start things off, especially the 2 first weeks, but they've gradually gotten more and more into it. And now we see individuals, as you mentioned, GMD having much better showing than what he had to start the season off. That actually propels them to actually grab map wins here and there. You know, split maps versus Luminosity, now obviously splitting versus SK as well. And for them, if they can go the entire season just going 1-1 almost, they're going to be happy with that.
That's going to be enough.
That's going to be enough to survive. And for now, that's going to have to be the realistic goal, right? Obviously, you want to dream of a top 6 placing, getting to the World Finals. But, you know, that could also be a step or a goal for next season. Right now, you just have to focus on survival, and Rogue are doing a pretty damn good job at that.
I think I'm going to quote Mel Gibson when I say this: aim small, miss small. I don't think that applies here at all, nor does really the next way we're going to go. We do have an Xfinity speed session with JKS. We're going to check this out real quick, then we're going to come back with our next 2 maps here. Let's go ahead and take a look.
The last TV show I probably binge watched would have been Vikings for the 2nd time in a row.